Look at that beautiful 999. Oof, we're getting there. So close. You shorted 49,801. Nice, dude. It's a good short. You got to get off the instant coffee. I agree, man. Instant coffee is kind of like, yeah, should be a big rule against that one. Close to breaking the 10K resistance, yeah. That'd be funny. We break 10K Bitcoin dumps. Oh, baby. How's everyone doing today? Made 100% on Eagle. Good job, dude. Very sick. Bitcoin's trying to form a pullback right now. Don't know if it's going to yet, but instant coffee bad for you? I don't think it's bad for you. I just think it tastes horrible. It's bad for your soul. It's bad for your mental state. If you had instant coffee, dude, that stuff is like horrible. Instant coffee should be outlawed. That's some bad mama jama stuff, man. As you can see, we've got sound panels being installed. I'm sitting here all morning up since 4 a.m. installing sound panels. I got a big stack of them all up here. I got my measuring tape. I got my sticky stuff, my two-sided tape. Got my level, got my rulers. Going good so far. But soundproofing. So done on this wall, done on this wall down here. Halfway done this wall. This wall's on stream, so this wall I have to like obviously pay a little more attention to. Has to be like pretty nicely gridded out, and I have to do kind of like a neat kind of design. It can't just be a blanket of panels stacked on top of each other. It has to kind of be like a cool design, right? 100% on Ave down. My dude. So it has to be kind of like a cool design, right? Because it's if it's on camera, I don't want it to just be like I don't want it to be like this. Like I don't want them to be panel here, stack on top, rinse, repeat, block, 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 block. I don't want them to be all connected like that. I want it to be like kind of a cool design. So have to spend extra time on this wall measuring things and making sure it's all templated properly. I would say it's going about 90% good. It's pretty good. But the very first panel that I used was off just a little bit because I didn't go all out. I didn't start masking taping my wall and building a grid with masking tape and using a level and all this stuff like that because I just like that's too like try hard. I just kind of eyeball it and use like a hand ruler and a level and get it pretty good. So it's like 90% good. On the one side, it starts to taper just a little bit, but I mean I'm talking about like a 1/4 of an inch in variance, which you can't even see because of the shadows. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You took a short on that level? I'll never tell. What's going on, chat? What's going on with everybody? I'm tired. I've been up since 4 doing these stupid sound panels, and I was up late last night. You know, these sound panels, it's such a scam because you get them and you open the packaging, and the packaging specifically tells you to soak them in water. So I did that, and I was like, okay, cool. Let's soak the sound panels in water, and then we wring them out, we put them in the dryer. So that's fine. It's like, okay, they're just foam, they'll dry, no big deal. These freaking things took like 5-6 days to dry. I've had them for almost a week, and just today they feel dry enough to put up. And I'm worried that they're going to shrink a little bit too because I kind of rushed it, but I need to get recording, so I can't sit here and wait for pieces of pieces of foam. I can't sit here and wait for pieces of foam to dry. So I followed the instructions. I soaked them in water. I rang them out. Like I couldn't wring them out any harder. Like I rang the hell out of them. Like there was nothing, not even drops that were coming out. Put them in the dryer for like 25 minutes. Let them sit out for 2 days. They're still like super wet on the inside. Like these things, they hold water like crazy. I had to hang them in a room with 2 dehumidifiers running for 2 days. Two dehumidifiers, and I cranked up the heat in my house too, just to get these stupid panels to not have so much water in them. They're ridiculous. Worst instructions ever. Literally 6 days dry time. Have you got mild OCD? I don't know, man, maybe. I'm doing almost as well as a pyramid scheme guy who wants you to believe he's doing. I don't know what that means, but good that you're doing good. I might have mild OCD, man. We chill in here, make money, don't worry about getting into the charts. Yeah, I'm in BTC down right now. I'm in BTC down. I took a can't talk this morning. I took a position down at the 80x range for it's not 80x, it's like 8 point whatever cents. So we're gonna see if this develops a pullback on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has the potential to develop a pullback here. I wanted to record it last week, but yeah, again, these sound panels, they took forever to dry. So yeah, recording it today as long as I'm not too tired, ping hacker. I wanted it to be out last week, but it just wasn't possible. When these sound panels take 6 days to dry, it was just not possible. BTC down. I could have sold my position for like a quick 20%, but I figured it was better to hold it. It wouldn't have been 20, it would have been around 17%. I'm not really looking to take a small scalp on BTC down right now. I'm looking for more of a developed pullback. I think we've set up the move so that a pullback could happen. So when they come packaged, Hassan, when they come packaged, it's like they're compressed and air sealed. So they're super compressed. They're almost like paper thin. Like this is how thick they are, right? Make sure this doesn't have anything on it that I shouldn't show. So like this is how thick they are when they're not, when they're like trying to get this straight to the camera here. And they're when they're like not, they're like paper thin. They're like this thin when they come in the packaging. So that they're about 10% of the size because they just shrink wrap them and squeeze them all together for packaging purposes. So you have to soak them to expand them. Or you could just let them sit out for a few days. In hindsight, I would have just let them sit out. I didn't know that they were going to take 6 days to dry. Needing multiple dehumidifiers hooked up and this and that. Hey, Bar2, what's up? Yeah. So had I known they would actually, because the instructions just say like soak them in water, wring them out, put them in a dryer for 20 minutes. So I did 25 minutes on a high heat and they still weren't good. And I have a good dryer. It's like a pretty nice dryer. It's not like I have a crappy dryer. I actually did 3 cycles on it. So I did like 75 minutes. Because every 12 hours I was like, man, these things are still wet. Let me go put them back in the dryer. So I did like 3 times. Terrible instructions. Anyway, 6 days later, they're ready. I'm installing them. We can continue recording. Yeah, Bitcoin looks like it might be developing a move down now. I'm not sure what this is. Just delete that. The thing about Bitcoin is when you have a pullback this big, it's starting to break a lot of local levels. So although this is still laddering the move nicely, it's definitely a potential candidate for pullback now. If you can't hold this ladder point, you're likely pulling back at this point. So I've taken my position on BTC down. I think buying right now is a little too high. I don't think I'd buy BTC down if I didn't get in at like 8.7 or 8.8 cents, just because you're just trying to reduce risk to like 0, right? So I don't think I would be buying at this point, but yeah, if you pull back, I mean, then you obviously don't want to miss the ETFs, right? Like SPX down, moved up 200%, and YFI, what's YFI doing? Yeah, YFI moved up like 100%. I'm talking about the down contracts, guys, like the ETF down contracts. Yeah, YFI is like 100%. SXP was like 200% it moved. Yeah, I think you've developed what could possibly be a candidate for a pullback, but we're gonna see what happens here. You start breaking over this trend, yeah, it's not going to be looking good. Just exit your position at no losses, but yeah, BTC down looks pretty decent right now. Only based on the fact that this may be pulling back indeed. Valentine's Day, fall in love with shorts. No, I'm not sure, man. Sorry, Lars. I don't know too much about the US exchanges, like what their counterparts would be and stuff like that. I get asked often, but I'm just not too sure. This is a hell of a pullback. This is a hell of a pullback, by the way. This broke a lot of the stuff that it was trying to hold. Like a lot of the things that could have held this move up inside of this range here, a lot of things that could have held it up inside of this range, this completely crushed them. Now, it did ladder off something back here, which is fine, but this would be like the first step in what you would have to do to break a move. You'd have to create something that actually breaks the first part of your move, which is like the local piece of your move right here. So once you can break this local piece of the move, then you're in the bigger kind of founding pieces of the move that holds it up, right? Because like obviously if you start to break below this, like it's over, right? The move is done. If you start to break below this, the move is done. And the first step in doing that would be kind of like breaking this stuff here, like all your local stuff in here, and you know, all this local crap. That would be like the first step, and this did do that. So it's developed the first piece of what could be a candidate for a pullback. Now it has to continue to hold this move down and just keep laddering and eventually break the trends that are holding it up. So yeah, I mean, eventually, and this could be a scenario, like what you could see now is this could be a scenario where this doesn't go and then like ladder off of this and ladder off of that. This could be a scenario. Now, I'm not saying it will be, I'm saying it could be. This could be a scenario where you instantly just break every single level at once and immediately go after this range. And then at that point, you know, you're just developing the move down, right? So this could be a scenario where this right here has started the whole thing, but we're going to see. You've got to see if this is actually going to hold the move or if it's going to keep pushing down to break whatever trend is here. Assumingly there's like a trend right here. I haven't really charted this too much, but assuming there's like a trend like right here that's trying to be broken, something along this lines, something like this. I don't know. I haven't charted this trend. This shit is mind blowing. You started watching FOT yesterday and started to understand it, dude. That's awesome, man. Am I releasing the whole mental analysis course on YouTube? Yes, GG Pack. The next video comes out Wednesday. How's that for hype Monday news? How are you guys liking mental analysis evolve so far? We'll talk about mental analysis evolved in a few minutes, but you guys can drop your thoughts in chat on MAE. So yeah, like with Bitcoin right now, really like if you pull this move back, you know, you've got local pieces of the move that hold it up every single time, right? Like, so even going from back here down to 37k or whatever, like we're just going to kind of mark like some of the bases of the move. Like as long as you ladder off this, you're fine. So this move here is like laddering. Even if you're laddering off this, that's fine. Next you ladder off this, then you're here, and so forth, right? Like you're keeping the integrity of the local pieces of the move, right? Like then the same thing's happening here. You've got this here, you've laddered off of it here, you ladder to here, you keep the integrity of the move, you simply break a trend, something like this, and you move up after laddering the move, right? So and then this cycle just keeps going. Like this is what happens in charts, right? So then you have like the base of the move here, you have the same trends in here that would have broken locally. We're on a 1 hour time frame, so you're not going to see all that little micro stuff. This is even still fine because it's just, yeah, you know, you go to a larger time frame here and it's just, oh, here's the 4-hour ladder point, and that's fine. That's also fine. You start creating bigger ladder points, you start creating bigger break points in the move too, right? So that's fine, and even this is still fine too because you're still laddering off of this right here. So you've developed kind of like this integrity in the move where you're laddering off this thing over and over and over, right? Like even on the daily, you can see you haven't really broken anything. You know, you in theory could come back down to here and still be laddering at 37k. So you could in theory come down to 37k today and still be laddering up on the largest time frame. Okay, so this is all like straightforward so far. So now you just need to kind of stay above this because you've already develop that leg of the move, which you will, right? Like you are going to stay above this. You're going to definitely stay above this, and you've done the same thing where you like, okay, well, we need to ladder, right? And so fine, it ladders to here, which then ladders to here or here, whatever bigger time frame it would be this one. It doesn't matter. Anyways, you've created these ladder points, so now you kind of just have to stay over the integrity of this, right? When this happens here, you've kind of broken this local piece of the move. You've started to break the integrity of this this move, right? Like the local pieces are broken. So you're still laddering off of this stuff back here, and that's fine. You've laddered from here to here, like as long as you don't go below this point, or if you were to switch it to the higher time frame, as long as you kind of don't go below this point, because then you're getting into like break levels, right? Like think to FOT, you're getting to like a break level. Like where's the 4-hour break level? The break level's right here. So you haven't hit the break levels. You haven't like broken the move yet. But this is also a scenario because you have broken this. You may not go and do something like this where you just test the move and, oh, we've broken the move, we got all the time in the world to get there. Like this, when this move is going to happen, it could be the kind of scenario that like this almost doesn't even exist, and this just goes straight down to 37k, and we're going to see if that actually breaks the real part of the move and if this thing is going to ladder up long term. So like right now is like a decent spot to kind of take like a low risk short, because you have kind of been given a signal that like, hey, you know, you've started to break back the local pieces of these ladders. So if there is going to be a time that this thing breaks down, and this is starting to look a lot like distribution up here, when you just can't, you just simply can't get over the move, right? Like you've got an origin level here, right? You guys know FOT, you've got an origin level here that's been being respected the whole time. It goes above the origin level and kind of fails this breakout on the origin level. Like this should be a breakout, right? Like this origin level here, this should be a breakout. So when you go over this, all you've done is fail it on the larger time frame. So if you go to a daily and you have created this on a daily candle here and you've tested it on a daily and you go above it and you kind of fail down and now you're failing this, like, yeah, this is kind of like all the signs of what would break a move. Like you really should have like hard closed this 4-hour here and moved up, but you couldn't break trend, and it tried. Like if you actually look at this thing, it actually did try to do that. If you go to like a 15-minute candle or something, like, okay, let's get rid of this crap. So that's fine. You break over the origin level, and I'm sure you have another trend there that's breaking. Like it's probably very straightforward. Trend is probably just like this in the moment, right? Like something like this, or I guess it would be on a different time frame. We have to do it on the proper time frame here. So it would be like this right here. So this would be like your first trend right here, and then you'd have a 15-minute trend. Oops. God. NVIDIA, why are you doing this to me? My NVIDIA thing just pops up out of nowhere. So you break this, right? That's the 15-minute trend we have marked. You break this, you backtest it, you hold, you move over the origin. You, at this point, you're like hard closing a 4-hour, and it's like, oh, we just need to hard close a 4-hour and we should launch, right? And so fine, and then you have your other trend right there. And this is the point where it should have like really been ignition on the move. And so like when this is failing like this and you're breaking over trend and failing the larger time frames, like look, you break over trend, fail the larger time frame, just like you break over the origin and fail its larger time frame, right? You break over it, you hard close a 4-hour. This should just be ignition for the move. It has to hold this ladder point. At that point, when you hard close this, you kind of have to hold this ladder point. When this doesn't hold, that's the dump. So this is like, could be the onset of what's happening on the move right now. Like once you lose this, or like once you stop laddering after you've hard closed this origin level, like the move is going to be pretty cooked, right? Like that's why you see such a big pullback, and it's kind of common sense too. Like, look, you lose this, you lose this ladder point, and it's just this move is gone, right? Like there it is right there, because you've lost the ladder point in the move. So where you've told the story in this chart that you have a 4-hour origin, it's hard closing on a larger time frame, which is the 4-hour. The 4-hour actually fails ignition, can't close the largest time frame, which is the daily, which is what it would have needed to do. Once you lose that origin point, you failed like a hard breakout. So now you failed like a hard breakout on this coin, on this coin, on Bitcoin. So like you've got to be like mindful of these things in the market, because this is now not only has it failed this part of the move, but it's also broken back any of these kind of like local ladders that you have in the move. So once you've now broken back these like local ladders in the move, you can close NVIDIA menu by using Alt-C. Change it on the keyboard setting. Yeah, I did change it, and I think I misclicked the key by accident. So like you've now failed an origin, you failed a breakout, and you've lost the ladder inside of that move that should have been ignition. Where this should have been ignition on the 4 hour to just hard close it daily, and you just have another big burst up to like 66k or like 55 or 4, whatever the target was that it had in that moment. You actually just failed the origin, and then there's a big dump when you lose this ladder point. And you don't, it's not like you dumped to these ladder points. It's not like you've dumped to here, right? Like it's not like you've dumped to here and then to here. And then oh, it's chill, because we actually just held over top, which would be fine because we'd actually be holding over top of the ladder point, which means this would all still be valid. But now we have to start going into bigger time frames. And so these hourly ladders, they're gone. They're gone. So now you're into like a 4 hour ladder. That's also, I wouldn't say the 4 hour ladder is gone. I would say you've potentially created another candidate for a 4 hour ladder right here. Well, no, you definitely have. But like all your like important local things that are like fueling this thing up from going and going and going, now you're starting to turn the other foot, right? Now you're starting to put the other shoe on, where it's like, okay, now it's like, can we hold distribution? And if we hold distribution, we're just going to break the larger trend, wherever this larger trend exists in this chart, which I have on my other chart, but that's my own chart. That's what I use outside of like the stream chart. So that's kind of my take on BTC right now and what's happened. So I mean, it's all very interesting stuff. It's all very very straightforward, very chill. Yeah, I'm tired, man. I got bad brain today. I got that stupid saying stuck in my head from League of Legends. You got bad brain? I got bad brain today. Where's this reach point? Yeah, see if you can break this trend here. If you break this trend, then yeah, Bitcoin's going to be in a move down. So right now, all you're trying to do is just see if this can develop, like continue to, like, we can just get rid of this crap. I don't even know why this stuff is still here. At this point, you can just see if you can, even this is crap. You just need to see if you can kind of hold this trend and let this trend break this trend. And if it does, then you're in the pullback, right? But right now, it's like, you know, look for a spot somewhere between like here and like trend to take your short. Let it get as high as it can, and then you short. So that's what I think on Bitcoin so far. Bitcoin could be developing a pullback. That's my take on it. We don't know yet. Like I said, nobody knows. Anybody who pretends to know is just completely like out of their mind. I've already bought Nazim. I've already bought all my ETFs. Hey, Sepper. I never know if I'm saying that right. I'm just going to call you Sepher, man. So there's a lot of stuff I'm obviously not marking on the chart that I use this to make my assessment, but just for stream purposes, I just am doing some kind of generalized assessments. So you guys are saying like Pandora's box and this and that. I'm not drawing all that stuff on the screen. It's like in my head and I see it, but I'm just not like communicating it visually on my screen. Also because I'm tired because I've been up since 4 a.m. installing these stupid panels. Yeah. I went long at 49, 45, 690. Cotton. Oh yeah, the mental analysis. Quality video, really accurate. Nice. Never Legacy. So I have a huge background in psychology. My family is like filled with psychologists, doctors, psychiatrists. And yeah, basically since I was raised by psychologists. So I've been around it all my life. So I have a pretty good grasp on the mind and psychology and the way it works. My family wanted me to be a psychologist. My mother had been teaching me all my life, basically, but like buying me books and things like that for psychology since I could read. It was like the first thing I was reading was like, yeah, I just remember her buying me books when I was like, I don't know, just a little kid, like maybe grade 1, and I would get books like Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. It's like some book from the 90s, some like psychology book. So she basically tried to prune me into being like a psychologist or like a doctor or psychologist. So I definitely have a lot of experience in psychology. Yes, Tio, once you finish advanced, you should go to the future of trading. Which is really neat because you know what? I don't know how you'd really. I really like the mental analysis evolved course because I don't really know how you would. Who would be qualified to make a mental analysis course in day trading? A day trader would. That would be qualification number 1. Qualification number 2, they'd have to be very successful. Qualification number 3, they'd have to create these routines and practice them themselves, which means they'd have to have a great understanding educationally about it. It's a pretty big list. Like, I think mental analysis is actually the hardest course to make in day trading just because of how much you actually have to kind of experience-wise have. Because you can't be like a failing day trader and make a mental analysis course. Well, I mean, you can, but I don't know if that would really relate well with people. I think you could. I think you could be a failing day trader, and I think you could make a mental analysis course and touch on the parts of the mind that you understood. But there's a lot you would miss and not understand unless you're successful in the field, which in itself is like a very, very minuscule bracket of people, right? So yeah, successful day trader, number 1. Number 2, you have to have the aptitude and the knowledge to actually know the mental analysis stuff. So you can't just be a successful day trader and then make an MA course. It doesn't work like that. There's okay, you can. I don't know how good it's going to be though, because I think psychology and day trading are two very opposite worlds. So like it's definitely my favorite course because of the dynamic that it contains from like a creator standpoint. So for me creating it and developing the course, the dynamic on it, the range of dynamics is massive because it's like so many different pieces in play that I have to consider when I'm making these, which puts me into like this very deep think tank. And I remember when I was recording these, I was in my basement in another house because they were recorded like over a year ago. And every night I would be like, I kind of do this thing where I walk in a circle when I think. I'll just pace. Like I do like I pace. That's what you'd say. I'll pace almost like I'm running a lap, but I'm not running, I'm just walking, but I'll pace for like 4, 5, 6 hours. I'll just walk and I'll stare at the ground and pace. And my mind is just off in like space. I'm almost like in this zone that I have. And I remember when I was recording those, I would just talk and I would every night of the week, like 5, 6 hours a night, just walking in a circle. Man, I lose weight too when I do that because it's like I'm doing cardio basically without even knowing I'm doing cardio. Probably why I'm in okay shape because I just pace so much when I'm in the think tank. So I remember just like in my basement and I would pace for like 5, 6 hours a night, just talking, thinking, describing theories, going back into my memory bank about things I learned as, all my life, understanding how to relate them to day trading. And she would just write everything down. And we would do this like 7 days a week, every day, nonstop. And then a month later, or no, 2 weeks later, one video would be done because just the amount of preparation work it just took to kind of understand that world is just, and not understand it like I had to go and start reading about it because I already know it very well. I was basically groomed from like 5 years old to be a psychiatrist. So it was very like, yeah, I remember creating it and it was just, there's only 8 lessons or 9 lessons right now. And they're just, I listened to them again. I'm like, man, I can't believe I recorded this stuff. This is like from a year ago. I can't believe I actually made this. Like, I love the mental analysis evolved course. It is such a deep piece of creation that it's like, yeah, that one really strikes home with me. Technicals are easy. They're like, yeah, I reverse engineer them. It's a science. There's data points to communicate. It's a science. It gets easy after a while, right? Because there's only so many variables that can happen. But with a mental analysis, it's a completely different world. So yeah, I really like that series. Hope I've had an amazing week. Yeah, I'm off to a tired start like usual. I'm just so burned out right now because I'm doing so many things at once, but trying to get it all under control with the recording schedule and getting these sound panels up. And I ordered a ton of equipment last week. I must have spent like, how much money did I spend last week on new equipment? Like a solid $7,000 on new equipment just to get things like transmitter for mics, lavalier mics, different stabilizers, gimbals. I got a really nice Rode gimbal. Not Rode. What am I talking about? Rode. What's the brand name? It's DJI. It's but it's not. It's where is it? The RSC. Yeah, I got an RSC gimbal. A really nice RSC gimbal. So that's but you guys would know the brand name if I pull it up. What's this thing called again? Ronin. There we go. Ronin gimbal. I got a really nice Ronin gimbal and a bunch of attachments. I bought some new furniture so I could stage for some new series that I'm releasing. Yeah, I've got a Shure SMB7. That's what this is. This mic is a Shure SMB7, but I got a Rode lavalier mic because I think the Rode's a little better. I listen to like sound bites and clips and different things. I gotta, yeah, go for DJ equipment now. I got the lights. Next is I got the soundboard right here. Next, I just need some turntables, and we're turning this into a day trading stream where we do music festivals every day. Oh, the pacing is no good. Like a caged animal, you do it too. How many people pace in here? What's going on? So Mental Analysis Evolved is like a crazy series. The amount of effort it takes to develop one of those is humongous. It's tremendous. A technical analysis video, I can kind of spitball it, and I have kind of like an agenda in mind. And I go into recording and I record for a few hours, and then I go watch the footage and I edit it, right? Like, so that's, you know, all in all, a lesson takes me an afternoon, maybe two sometimes if I get really crazy on the editing. Mental Analysis Evolved is like a week of work just to get concepts down on paper to develop these things, because I'm creating things that haven't been created before. So because I do strongly believe there's no good mental analysis content out there, I have to kind of create it from zero. There's nothing for me to piggyback off of. There's no like, oh, for example, you guys know what trends are because trends are talked about on baby pips and trends are talked about on every trading video you've ever seen. Let's make a trend. Let's make a wedge, right? Trends are everywhere. So there's already tons of content about trends. I don't need to make a video talking about what trends are, how they work, and then convince people that they work by showing them, and then make a video on how you use them. I can just make the video on how you use them because people already know they're there. Mental Analysis Evolved is different though, or mental analysis in general, because I truly believe there's no real content when it comes to creating tools for the mind and developing something that is specifically for day trading. We're not talking about like, oh, go do breathing exercises, go, you know, take an ice bath. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about creating real tools that work to help people overcome some of the biggest barriers they will ever face in day trading, which is the mind, right? So there's nothing out there for me to piggyback off of. So it takes an absorbent amount of time to even start to conceptualizing, talking about these things, putting them on paper, creating and relating tools that you can actually give to people, right? So like it's nuts. But for that reason, I love it because I get to create kind of like the world's first real piece of what I think anyways, and whether people agree with me or not is completely subjective to opinion. Whether they like it or not, that's up to them. But from my take, it's like I'm creating the world first, like real mental analysis material for day traders that actually can make a difference, and don't just talk about bullet points. That's kind of like, oh, that's cool, but how does that help me? Because that's kind of how I see the mental analysis out there right now. So yeah, it's really neat. Good old NVIDIA menu, man. Alt Z, you can suck it. You appreciate the effort I go into them. Thanks, Zebd. Am I saying that right? Zebd? Thanks, Zebd. I put my everything I have into these videos in the hopes that it communicates my messages properly to my audience. So yeah, that's like one of my things is I'm pushing production as far as I can, because I do believe that that's the medium that allows people to take you seriously or not, or really understand if what you're communicating is real or fake, right? So I really go to that extra extent. I spent, like I said, I spent like $7,000 on more equipment last week in furniture and this and that just to get like some new segments out. Sweet mustache. Yeah, I just haven't had time to shave, man. I'm gonna make it like one of those pencil thin curlers. It's gonna go like this and curl up my cheek, man. I'm gonna grow just the whiskers out and it's gonna curl up my cheek and it's gonna curl into my eyebrows, man. It's gonna just all connect. It's all gonna connect and the rest will be like just bald. I'll do a sick undercut, like skin tight undercut. I'll have this connect to my eyebrows and then, oh man, then I'll be looking fresh. Not my idea of looking fresh, but hey, I don't know. Maybe some people like that. I don't know. Be interesting for a day. I think I would be like a little annoyed. I'd probably scratch at it all day. It's informative to see how you weigh variables and theories and theorize potentials entering the Kantian mind. Yeah, I'm lucky that I had somebody who raised me to be a psychologist. Like basically, I was supposed to be a psychiatrist, but yeah, that ain't me. That wasn't my path. I was like playing hockey and breaking bones, and as much as my mom wanted me to be a psychiatrist back when I was a kid, it was like, yeah, Mom, I'm playing marbles and Magic the Gathering. I don't know about all this doctor stuff. I'm playing MTG. I'm trying to lightning bolt and counterspell my opponent right in the face. I don't know about this psychology. Yeah, tell me how it feels when I counterspell you and you lose the game because you all in on one tactic, and tell me how it feels when you get lightning bolt in the face. That was like the 10-year-old me playing Magic the Gathering. Yeah, you can suck on that for a while. How's that for mental analysis? So that's kind of how I was. I was just like, yeah, I'm not into this world. But I learned it because I was kind of forced to. So, but it was helpful. Obviously, it's enabled me to be like a good brain. It's enabled me to have good brain in moments. There's moments where I get good brain. You remember Donald Duck, a Donald Duck comic where Dagobert Duck walks in circles, creates the deep trench in which he walks, and he thinks about money. That sounds about Donald Duckish. Today I see the glow in your eyes. That's called being overtired, man. That glow is early death. Beginner's course before watching the remastered videos. I would wait for the remastered at this point, Jur. They're going to start coming out this week. I'm hopefully going to start recording today and have one up for like Thursday maybe or something. I don't know, Rick. Stay tuned to find out, my dude. MA is like a support level for TA. Yeah, I mean, MA is what separates the professionals from the non-professionals, right? MA is what mental analysis, the routines we create, the way we handle our mind every day, the way in which you can create systems in your mind to help support your life is like literally the black and white definition between a pro and a non-pro. Mustache craze. Yeah. Good time to get into ETFs? Maybe, I don't know, man. Magic kids are so lame when I was young. I can't see you like that, Cotton. I loved MTG, dude. I still have a huge collection of like pretty crazy cards too. I talked about shows. I've seen Westworld. Westworld is good. You saw me as maybe the Karate Kid in high school? Guess not. So I actually did run a Kung Fu studio for a while. I joined martial arts because I liked it, and I ended up becoming a teacher because I was really good at it. I got recruited to be a teacher, so then I was a teacher for like 6 months, so it was cool. I have my black belt, so that's cool. You're 17 and you learned a lot. Man, you're young. Good. You're starting out at a good age, man. It's good. The glow is passion when you're talking about mental analysis. I saw that glow in your first video too. Yeah, man. I mean, I love this stuff. I love what I do. I love teaching it. I've made a lot of money in it and I've enjoyed making money in it, and it's bought me nice things, and now I really enjoy teaching it. Now I really enjoy, now I want to kind of be the person who changes the world with technical analysis and day trading. So yeah. You can play Magic and do martial arts at the same time. Same boat, Cotton. Exactly. I would. Yeah. I've got my black belt in Kung Fu. Ever watched Mentalist? Oh, I don't know if I have. It kind of sounds familiar, but not really like, oh, I know what that is. Taekwondo black belt. You're an Italian champion at once. I did a form of Kung Fu. Ping hacker. Kung Fu. Yep. Kung Fu, it's a lot of meditation. It's a lot of we did what was called like Kung aerobics and stuff like that, which is basically like Tai Chi mixed with Kung Fu, like controlling the body and energies and stuff like that. And a lot of striking. Obviously, Kung Fu is like a ton of striking and redirects as you get to more of an advanced level. But yeah, Kung Fu. It was a good form of Kung Fu too. Not just like generic Kung Fu, it was a specialized form. So I remember when I was doing martial arts, I really wanted to get into, what was it that I wanted to get into? Because I had my black belt in Kung Fu and I went on this deep dive to see like where I wanted to take it if I wanted to go further. And I summed up that it was either going to be jiu-jitsu next because it was just like the best fighting technique, or it was going to be, I would have never gotten to like, Jeet Kune Do was cool. There's a lot of forms that are really neat, but jiu-jitsu is kind of like, in my opinion, the ultimate form, like close CQC fighting, like close quarter combat. Jiu-jitsu was like the backbone to like every great fighter. So it kind of got to a point where Kung Fu was cool and it was cool to be a black belt, but as a fighter, you kind of suck being in like Kung Fu or just like Taekwondo. Like Muay Thai is pretty good for fighting. So I kind of summed it up to like, okay, if I want to do anything with this, it's like jiu-jitsu, or like I'm not going to bother going any further because I have a black belt in a striking form. Like Kung Fu is a striking form, right? It's striking and redirecting. So it was to the point where it was like, okay, now we go into an advanced form to actually make me a better combatist. But I really didn't have a passion in that stuff. I joined it because I liked the idea of being physically active and stuff like that, and learning how to do a martial art. But then I kind of just really like, I didn't want to do anything with it. So I was like, jiu-jitsu or nothing. And then I just decided like, okay, well, jiu-jitsu is just, I don't want to be a fighter. I had never had I wanted to be a fighter, or was it anything I'd ever like want to compete in or anything like that. So it just came to the point where it was like jiu-jitsu or bust, and I just didn't want to. It's funny, Ping Hacker, you kind of just said the same thing almost. It's inspiring, but the competition side isn't structured as good. And Taekwondo is kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's like, it's a great striking form, but like as a standalone fighting style, it's kind of like lackluster. Chuck Norris beard. Yeah. You lost a lot of money, started the advanced course yesterday. Thanks a lot. Dude, keep it up. Go through Future of Trading, man. That's a monster of a course. You think MMA is worth it? I think if you have a passion for fighting, yeah. I think jiu-jitsu is like the road to go if you're going MMA, like jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. I think these forms are very, there's like very dominant forms, and jiu-jitsu is one of them for sure. Like close quarter combat. There's some like really specialized CQC stuff, like close quarter combat is what CQC means. There's some really specialized things out there where they're like derived from jiu-jitsu, but then it created more of an advanced form. Basically, the world of MMA has changed martial arts. So yeah, I think there's like a lot. Krav Maga, I'm not sure what that is, Chris. On the individual, not on the combat style. That's true too. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good take. I would agree. I think if you're just looking at it for like purely as a sport though, like I want to be a fighter and go into an octagon, then there's dominant styles for sure. Capoeira? Up? Oh yeah, Brazilian martial arts. Good old capoeira. Or as most people pronounce it, capoeira. It's not capoeira, it's capoeira. %90 are foul moves. So you're like Solid Snake then from Metal Gear Solid in the octagon. Capoeira's cool. It's very very artistic, very tough. Man, you have to be really fit to do capoeira. Poking eyes, kicking nuts. Yeah, that's like that's yeah, definitely competition bad stuff. Yeah. Oh, I can see why. I remember like people always coming to me when I was an instructor, and because capoeira was like a big thing. They had like, I don't know, something had just come out when I was an instructor, and like capoeira was, maybe it was on like a music video they were doing capoeira, like maybe like a Daddy Yankee song or something. I'm not sure, but there was some kind of song that came out. I want to say it was like a Daddy Yankee song. Memory, I don't know, memory's broken, it sucks. But then everybody would be like, oh, do you teach capoeira? I was like, I don't know what that is, sorry. No, I remember like everybody would be like, oh man, where can I learn capoeira? Like, okay, all right. So yeah, mental analysis coming out Wednesday, another one coming out Wednesday. Hopefully beginner's course this week. Well, okay, this week for sure. Beginner's course remastered this week. I'm going to start trying to begin recording today, and hopefully maybe by Thursday there's the start of the videos, and then there'll be a few videos a week on that. I'm hoping. And then obviously advanced course rate to follow, and some new stuff coming out too. New stuff, not talking about that too much, but yeah, new stuff coming out too. Let's pull up our list, go through our stocks. I haven't checked anything since Friday. We're going to go through. That's hype. Computer's like crashing out. Nice, dude. Nice one, dude. What am I looking for here? My stocks list. Biggest loss in trading, my mind. Okay. I told somebody we'd look at Ripple today. Let's check Ripple. GE on the weekly. I'll check GE today. Ha! We called it on Ripple, 75 cents. Wait, that happened already. No, this just happened. This happened way before. We didn't call anything. This had already happened. I think we called 75 cents actually down back in January when people were asking like, oh, where can it go? I think that's when we called 75 cents. Oh, let's go. You got to test your accuracy before you trade. Yep. Doge. Yeah, no. Like, I mean, if Bitcoin's developing a pullback right now, everything will, right, guys? Like, let's just be mindful of that. If Bitcoin is developing its pullback, everything will be pulling back. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing to look at with Ripple. There's no like alarmingly good trades. If anything, I guess the short existed from here to here, and it's already done. So, like, now you'd be looking at this today, and I mean, I guess if you're going to short, you'd go like around 70 cents to short this thing. You could even try to do something really boneheaded and just do this and be like, oh, let's just short this trend. And maybe you'll get up there, but maybe like front run it a bit to like 72.5. Like if I was going to short Ripple, that's what I'd be looking at today. But again, this is like very dependent on if Bitcoin actually develops a pullback. So Bitcoin moves up, right? Create the scenario. Bitcoin moves up, has a bigger rejection. Ripple will follow it, move up and have its bigger rejection. So you can kind of like pick a point where you think Ripple might reject it. Just some kind of boneheaded trend might look good here. Just like 73 cents or something, maybe even a little lower, like 72.5. I think it's a lot safer than shorting anything before that. That's for sure. Hey, Motion, what's up, dude? So just do like a very basic bonehead trend here. Okay, let's go to Forex. What do we got? USD Euro still pulling back. We want to see a bigger pullback on this, so nothing to see here. It's going to be like the story with everything. Nothing to see here. No, but really, we're looking for these moves to hit our levels, right? Like that's where we're. What about Doge? I don't care about Doge. Let Spaceman pump Doge. I have no interest in Doge. It'll pull back when Bitcoin pulls back, just like everything else in the market. There's nothing to know about Doge. Yeah, USD JPY looking for the pullback still on this, really looking like it's holding its range and developing a move up. Really too bad, because this would have been a pretty good trade down at 101.85. So this would have been really good. Could get here in the future. It's possible. GBP USD T- 2 weeks on the oh, GBP broke its trend. No, this has been broken. We're looking to possibly short there. Can't do anything about this anyways. I think I might even take a higher short. Like maybe I'm gonna mark another level like right here. That looks about good. 1.42. Yeah, okay, we're like 1.426. Yep, that's where I would take my short on this. 1.426. I would definitely be taking a short on this if I had my accounting set up, but we're T- 2 weeks still. Australian dollar breaking its range too. So everything kind of breaking its range. Australian dollar setting up for a move up. To where? Looks like it's going to be a decent move. Could potentially stop at like 80 cents-ish. Could potentially stop like 80 cents. This could pull it back. Possible short at 80 cents there. Hopefully our accounting is set up before that, because I'd like to actually take this one. Sure, John. I'll get to that question in a few minutes. Let me finish my brain dead rundown here. Interesting. USD CAD about to break. If this holds, if this trend holds, yeah, we're about to break and hit like a pretty decent move on USD CAD. We're holding trend up. We're gonna go up to like 83 cents here, which is the same target on the other trade on the other screen too. We may even go to trend. USD CAD's about to move up. I mean, it could still move down. Trend is holding it. There's no entry on this trend. This is not where you enter the trade short or long. You exit and reshort if it's dying out. But so yeah, I mean, yeah. There's no trade there. Bitcoin, yeah, it's moving up. It just don't really it can do its thing. We're doing our thing, it can do its thing. What are we on? CAD USD? Chinese yen next. Chinese yuan. Yeah, it's still falling. Good. Franc. The franc still moving down. Euro GBP. It's already in the middle of a lost move. It's moving down. Get through our list here. Go back. Check on Bitcoin. Just going to quickly check, see what it's doing. Yeah, it looks like it's going to go after trend here. Really, you could see Bitcoin like... Bitcoin's probably already hit its move, actually. This is probably already going to be pulling back now. This is like pretty perfect. This is probably going to pull back now. Okay, cool. Have I seen people put lots of effort and time and still fail? Yes, but they fail for reasons that they can control. Traits you commonly see students who fail and succeed. Common failing factor would be going too fast. Think that one is like the most common one when people try to like go way too fast and they they end up knocking themselves out of the game because they don't have any bankrolls left before they actually get into it. So they just go way over their heads and they go way too fast. So that's like the most common, like obvious one. Something that's a little deeper. What I see a lot of is like bad attitudes and poor mindsets. So typically when people fail, let me think back. I think for the most part, all my failing students kind of have this like expectation mindset where they're like owed the world. They kind of have this like just bad aura about them. Well, how can I like explain this? How can I explain this? They're kind of the people who, when things go wrong, they give up really quick, and they move way too fast, and they think they're like the best of the best, like cut from God's cloth kind of thing. I think that's like the failing kind of, that's like the commonality I see between failing traders. It's like they have this kind of, I don't want to say attitude, but they just have this kind of presence about them that's like, whenever I see failing traders, it's always the same thing. They never took it seriously enough. They never had the right mindset. They always thought they could shortcut things and get there faster than they can. They always thought they knew more than they did. It's kind of like this just kind of like low quality style of thinking. And not to like call anybody out, because I'm not calling anybody out, but it's just kind of like this low quality style of thinking. God's cloth, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of just that like low quality mind frame. Like they would have never been successful in trading because they just don't have, it's really hard to explain without like saying direct things that may offend certain people. I'm trying to think of like how I can describe this in like a very, it's like, it's not just day trading they fail at. They fail at a lot of things. It's kind of just like there's this quality people have. They can either make it because they take things seriously and they put the effort in, and they don't have like these grandeur expectations of becoming a millionaire overnight, but realize like if they put the hard work in, right? It's kind of like if they fail at day trading, they've probably failed at a lot of things in life just because of their own ability to have things like patience and like realistic outcomes, and you know, just like a better quality of thinking. And it usually is associated with like I deserve it kind of attitude. Nobody deserves it. It's hard work. Is it attributed to intelligence? I think it can be. I think it definitely can be attributed to intelligence. Self-awareness, maybe. It's kind of just like that puffed out chest kind of mentality, right? Like biggest voice in the room. Sometimes people come in chat. It's like the same thing. I see it in chat too. You can see like somebody came into the chat last week and they were like, what kind of channel is this? All you're doing is talking about conspiracy theories or coincidences on exchanges. But there was like a much bigger conversation. So it's kind of like the same person. His name was something trader. I don't remember. Anyways, they come into the room and they're like, wow, just kind of that guy who walks into the room and doesn't really think before they talk and just kind of has an opinion after hearing like 3 words and just tells his opinion to everybody. It's kind of like that same thing. Does that make sense? It's like, man, you must be a blast at parties. You know, they hear like 4 words and they're like, what's going on here? Like, how would you know what's going on here? You just heard 3 words and your mind's already come to conclusions. Are you asking for an explanation? Or are you making a statement? We're all confused by your words. So it's kind of like that. That's kind of the common thing I see that's like a little deeper is people with kind of that mentality. Another one is people who don't really inhale properly. Like they don't inhale the actual knowledge. They just kind of listen and they try to apply and put this puzzle together without any drawings on the puzzle pieces at all. So they'll listen to, like, say maybe Mental Analysis Evolved or something, and they'll listen to it and they'll hear it, but nothing really gets in. They never inhale the information. Nothing really gets in. They hear the words, but after I'm done my lesson, nothing has changed. They might as well be the same person. They don't really inhale the right information. So that's another big one. Like, they don't actually kind of take it in. You know what I mean? They don't really pay attention. What percentage of people do you see having this behavior? Another good question. You're hitting me with the hard ones. Damn, it kind of sounds like me. Ping Hacker says, humility. If you're one of those people who can't accept failure, yeah, it's kind of like everything in life, right? Like, I don't want to be mean, but there's kind of this saying, like, once a loser, always a loser. And not to say anybody's a loser. That's not what I'm saying. It's just the message is clear in that statement. It's like, you have to evolve as a human being. You have to be better, or like evolve or die kind of idea, right? Is this one indicator going to be the key to my success? Yes, there you go. That's like a good one to say. Yes, this one indicator that nobody else is using is definitely a road to billions and millions of dollars. Don't worry, you figured it out. It's kind of like that same thing, right? Like that. It's just like a low quality of thinking, I guess, is the way to put it. And I'm not trying to sound any specific ways, just my take as a teacher. Trying to be real with you guys, because I don't usually kind of talk off cusp about people, but talking in a broad sense, those are the kind of the qualities that I see that are shared. Is it they don't know how to give back? You call your website the give and take exchange. How is important is, in your opinion, the purpose that's fueled by giving back? I think giving back is huge, right? Like the give and take exchange, that's the name of the GateX, right? Like, I think that's huge. The original ethos there was to help people and have other people help each other. But like that's kind of just like, you know, falls on deaf ears. I think the website is just treated as like a good center for the education, which is good too. What's the common thing they share that's good? The other part of that question. The common thing they share that's like allows them to be in part to like a winning formula is their drive. Some people have this in life and some don't. There's just like this drive that some people have where they're like open to learning. They're just like an open mind to learning, and they just want to sponge it all and hold that water without getting squeezed. They want to soak everything up, and they don't want anybody to touch them. They don't want any of that water squeezed out. They just want to suck up all those juices, right? Like that's the winning factor. People who are like willing to accept and think beyond and listen, right? That's like the winning factor. People who actually have like a higher success rate are the ones who are like positive, go through the grind, take it all in, learn, don't kind of have this injuncture where they try to force their own opinions in. There's like a certain like, I don't want to say reality, but there's just a certain kind of concept in life where if somebody is teaching it, they have to be pretty qualified to teach it. So the first step kind of comes at like, you have to decide if that person you're learning from is worth your time. Because if you truly believe it's not worth your time to learn from that specific person, you're always gonna fail. But if you do believe that person, it's worth your time learning from them, then you have to accept that their experience is greater than yours, and you have to accept that they probably know what they're talking about in a very great manner. So you kind of have to make that deciding factor from the very get-go of anything you learn in life. It's like, is this person worth learning from? And if you believe so, then just take it in, because they've already experienced whatever you think you may or may not be going through. If you think you lost $100,000, they've already experienced that. Like if you think, you know, losing $1 million sucks and you want to avoid that, they've already experienced it. They've already created systems and they've already bypassed all of those bad things. So you're taking all the best parts of them, right? So I think that's like a big part of it too. Like people who want to learn, you have to realize that like, okay, if I'm going to put my mind out there and I'm going to use my time on this earth, which is precious, by the way, if I'm going to use my time on this earth to learn from somebody, I better believe them. And if I believe them, I should trust them and listen to them and let them guide me. So that's kind of like the common winning factor. People have that kind of mindset where they're just an open book and they're just, you tell them something and they really take it in and they're like, oh, okay, makes sense. And they put their opinion aside because I've already gone through all these things. I've been doing this for over a decade. People coming new to me who have been doing this for 6 months thinking they can reinvent the wheel. You're welcome to try those things, but realize you're experimenting. You're not learning, you're experimenting. There's a big difference there. So yeah, I think that's like the big factor. Open-mindedness, I guess. I've already gone through the ropes of working with hedge funds. I've seen bots. I've seen people wash millions of dollars of tradings. I've washed money myself. I've seen it all. I've been here so long. I've seen it all. So like, it's just like, sometimes you just have to kind of put your faith into another human being. And really the decision doesn't become, should I put my faith into them? It's like, do I believe them? Because if you don't, then just don't even waste your time. Because then you're just like being stupid to yourself. Because then you're just saying like, oh, this person can't teach me something, but let's try it. Like, why waste your time? Your time is precious. My time is precious. Your time is precious. You have X amount of time to spend on this earth, and money doesn't, well, money can make it better, but like your journey is what matters. So if you're polluting your journey, then why are you trying to learn a polluted path? It's like already corrupted before it starts. It's already tainted. So you can't really learn like that, can you? Like the magnet tool. If you're open-minded, you're stuck everywhere. Thanks for the insight. Really good to hear. I hope I'm not too harsh in what I'm saying. Like, it's just kind of what I see from people. You can kind of tell when someone's going to fail or succeed right from the start. And anybody can be wrong. I can make a wrong call or a wrong judgment. It's not my job to pass judgment on people. My job is to teach. My job is to teach, open people's eyes, and hope to give them a piece of this magic that I've discovered in life that's allowed me to live such a financially wealthy life and have such a great, existence on this earth, and be very fortunate to be able to really have no boundaries in life. So that piece of magic that I've figured out, my job is to teach others. So I may pass judgment sometimes, but it's meaningless, because I can be wrong. I have just an opinion, right? Just like my opinion about martial arts could be wrong. My opinion about politics could be wrong. My opinion about, I don't have opinions on politics. I don't care. People ask me about politics. I'm like, I don't know, man. Chart it. My opinion on food, sushi's the best. Mexican and steak is the best. That could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. I don't know if they're the best. That's just what I like. So it's just like, that's, just my opinion. I just try to develop something to share with the world so other people can have this piece of magic that I figured out. The choice that I made to be a good human being or a bad one in my journey to my end game, right? Which is not money. It shouldn't be for anybody. 10K subs, let's go. I don't think I'm a genius. People are always like, man, you're a genius. You're a master of the markets. I figured it out, man. Like, that's, I'm just the monkey who looked in the right hole and found the banana. That's it. Just a monkey chasing a banana, and I'm the monkey that got the banana. I don't know how else to say it. Enjoying your responses and chat questions. Spent the last couple of hours chasing my 7-month-old border collie around the hood. Oh, nice, dude. Hopefully your border collie didn't get out or anything, and you're all good. Off doing post Valentine Day border collie stuff. I just had pre-workout booster. My face is itchy. Oh yeah, dude. Pre-workouts are pretty intense. What kind? Something I will say that I've been like a great attribute to myself is how much experiences I've had gives me such a well-rounded opinion. Like, I was supposed to be a psychiatrist. I went to school to be a software engineer. I changed into design. I went to be an architect. I'm in day trading. I was a pro poker player. I worked in construction. I worked on oil rigs. Like, I've done a lot, right? So it's really rounded me well to be successful. So I think that's like one of my big things is like, I've had a ton of education, man. Like, I went to the university for 11 years, which made me like the best version of my thinking self that I can be. And then even before that, I was being raised to be a psychologist by doctors. So it's just like, that has enabled me to have like a very well balanced look on life. So yeah, I'm fortunate in that way. Understand how to win and how to improve. There's just like this it factor that people have. Like, you either have it and you're born with it, or you don't. Like, it's something I try to teach my son, and any parent should be like kind of that same thing. And what I try to teach my son is like, from the moment he wakes up, like, anything is possible. You want to go outside and play? Let's go. What are we doing? Are we going to be playing with GI Joes? Or are we going in the pool? Or are we going to go for a walk up the mountains? If we go up for a walk in the mountains, are we going to look at the houses? Are we going to try to find animals? Are we going to collect sticks, rocks? What are we going to do with those rocks? So like I just try to have as much of a dynamic kind of flow of influence as much as possible. And every day is just like, well, what are we doing? So kind of how I was raised and what I try to give my son as well, and my daughter. Beta-alanine make you itchy? Yeah. Demon Labs. Oh, I know Demon Labs. Yeah, that stuff's pretty harsh on the stomach. Oh, yikes, man. You got a bulletproof stomach to take. I think that's the one with like, it's like a hologram like snake on it. The logo on it is like a hologram snake, or like if that's the one I'm thinking about. And maybe that's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Quick question on FOT at the moment. I modeled myself up with notes. If it's an uptrend, do I mark the bottom of distribution to distribution, accumulation to accumulation? It's time frame relevant, Ross. I would say try to stick to like distribution to distribution on uptrends and accumulation to accumulation on downtrends. I got the hiccup. Sorry, guys. Accum to accum downtrend, distrib to distrib on uptrend. Straight facts, what we're all here for. I try not to be harsh because there could be people in the chat who aren't making it and I don't want them to take it personally. But yeah, I don't want to say it's the loser mentality. It's like, PETA's the best. PETA's are pretty good, man. Hi, YouTube. Make this next upload very special. Okay, I'll do that. Next upload will be beginner's course. I'll hold off. I was kind of thinking the same thing, John. Like I've been looking at YouTube metrics lately and how to like get this thing pumping. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just wait on the MAE release and just do on Wednesday if I can. This week, anyways. The following week's Wednesday will be mental analysis. I do like mental analysis lessons on a Wednesday because it's right in the middle of the week. So it's like a good time for a brain break, right? It's a good time to say, okay, let's learn something new to expand our mind field, not just, hey, let's learn more technical analysis. We're halfway through the week. We're at a lull point. Let's take a break. So I kind of wanted to do mental analysis evolved every Wednesday for that purpose. But I think maybe for this week, I think you're right. I think we'll go with like the beginner's course, lesson 1. People judgment on what's possible. Yeah. Again, yeah, I just try to teach my son like everything is possible no matter what you want. And so some people have that it factor in life where they can just like, no matter what they do, they're going to conquer it. It's like what astronauts have, or it's like if Superman was real, it's what he would have. Or it's like some people just have that like it factor that no matter what they touch is just going to like, they're going to find a way to succeed no matter the task. Like astronauts, I don't know, like heroes, war heroes. Like there's just an it factor that some people have. Have any Netflix recommendations? Last Kingdom. Dude, Last Kingdom is so hype. That's such a good show. Blueprint, we are coming. Yeah. Congrats, you deserve it. Thank you, Lucas. There's just like an it factor. A lot of people have it. Anybody can have it. That's the thing about the it factor. Anybody can have it. Instant coffee every day. My stomach is bulletproof. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Pre-gym is good. Expensive though. Best pre-workout, pre-gym. I don't know how we got talking about pre-workouts. Any like JYM products, that guy, the gym guy, any gym products are like very expensive. Well, his name is Jim, like JYM. He's like a bald guy. Pretty decent guy too. Like knows his stuff. Very smart. Footprint charts to analyze volume? No, dude. I'm not using... XQC calls it the juice. XQC is a bit of a god. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really enjoying his Minecraft content and his GTA RP. And I'm not I've never touched Minecraft in my life, but watching XQC play Minecraft, pretty decent content. I've guilty pleasure. I've been watching a lot of XQC play Minecraft lately, like a lot. Jim Stepani, yeah, he's a really, really smart guy. He's like a scientist, basically. Like when he talks about like how he figures this stuff out and the way he does his routines are like very backed by like thoughts and science or his own form of science, whatever. It's not like, yeah, we're in the lab doing this. He's just like really pinpointing what he wants to do. And yeah, gyms are reopening too. Yeah, I do basement gym. You used to watch him, dude. I still watch XQC. I've been watching XQC for like since he's 1,000 viewers. Fellow Canadian, right? Do I think alt season is top for the medium term? I don't know. It depends if Bitcoin pulls back, I guess. To be open about a lot of arguments. Watch every sort of documentary you can. Learn about space, about economics, history. Open your mind to everything. I think that's a good way to. I think that's a good way to look at life. BTC losing ground. Yeah, Bitcoin's moving up. BTC down. Will lose a little bit of price right now. Bitcoin's threatening to push its range, right? So BTC down is going to do the same thing. It's going to push down. The concepts you teach put people in that 10%. Can it be true that 90% without understanding these concepts? I think it's higher. I think it's like 99.9% don't understand it, dude. There's very seldom like profitable traders out there who are doing it properly. You think the most important thing is being open to a lot of arguments? I think that's important, but I think there's something even better. I think when anybody has any type of conflict towards you, so this could be like just an argument, could be something as simple about like what's better, ketchup on McDonald's or not ketchup on a McDonald's cheeseburger. You can look at it in two ways, no matter what it is. It could be something like severe, like, oh my God, I'm gonna come to your house and take your front door because I like the color. I don't know, guys. I don't know, but anytime there's any type of like of this in life, any type of conflict, I think that's like what people should do is listen and realize that somebody else's opinion has value. You don't have to agree with it, and you don't have to disagree with it either. You don't have to have an argument with somebody where you have to be right and they have to be wrong. You can simply just be right to yourself. And that's how I take things. People say things to me all the time and I'm just like, oh, okay. And I try to understand what they're saying because it may have value in it, right? So if somebody has an argument or a different opinion than me, it doesn't mean I'm trying to prove them wrong. But I think this is a big one in life. I'm not trying to prove anybody wrong anytime they tell me something. I just kind of, okay. And if they're wrong, I know they're wrong. I don't need to tell them they're wrong. It's more power to me if I know they're wrong and they think they're right and they're wrong all along and they're just going on their life being wrong. More power to me. I'm better than them, right? So then that's kind of like the selfish way to look at it. But there's also the holistic way to look at it, which is like, okay, their opinion has value. Understand why they think that and just see if you agree with their understanding or not, right? So I think there's like, you can say like, oh, you have to have an open mind to arguments, which is true, but I think you have to look at it like a little deeper than that. And then there's two takes on that. There's a selfish like, okay, well, that's fine because I'm better than you. There's that take on it where you can just, not tell somebody, which is good too, right? Like that's just the win, that if people need that win, they can just do that for themselves. That's it. Agreeing to disagree is vital when you love to argue. Yeah, you know what? Everybody's opinion is valid because if they think it has a valid point, you may just not understand it. They may be right and you may be the person who's wrong. So like the real play is to just understand what they're saying and think about it. And you don't have to argue. You just have to listen and value their opinion because they're still human beings. You're a human being, they're a human being. They may have a perspective that you're just too stubborn to see, and they may be right the whole time, right? So then it's just like, just listen. It's all you have to do in life, man. You just have to listen. You don't have to argue. You don't have to be right. And if you are right, then more power to you because you're the person who's right at the end of it, behind all the scenes. If this was a movie being directed by somebody and an audience watching you, the audience is on your side and you're right. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to prove being right. You just live your life, right? So it's just like, yeah, I think that's like the real play. Like people say open-mindedness, but then there's kind of a breakdown because open-mindedness is a very vague kind of thing to say. Oh, I'm open-minded. Yeah, sure, I'm open-minded. I believe there's life forms out there. I believe there's aliens. Doesn't mean I want to get into an argument about it. Doesn't mean I don't think your opinion is irrelevant or invalid. I don't think the earth is flat. If you do, I'm happy for you. Tell me about it. Maybe there's something I've missed. And if there's nothing I've missed, then I would just say, oh, cool. I never thought about it like that. It's pretty neat. I do that all the time with people. They ask me something I completely know they're out of their mind bonkers, and I'm just like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I never thought about it like that. You might be onto something, right? Just this like very like I know the earth isn't flat. You may be onto something though. So I think that's like important in life, is like really just, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying before about the people who are successful or not. They kind of, like, the successful people kind of share this like open-mindedness. There you go. Look at that, perfect keyword. They share this open-mindedness and this way that they can just more intelligently handle things in life. I love learning about space. My dad was a huge space guy. He just knew everything about all the solar systems. He knew what temperature every planet was. Like, he spent like 20 years studying astronomy or astrology. I don't know which one it is. Astrology. No, it's not astrology. He spent 20 years studying astronomy. Astrology is the signs, right? Like the zodiac signs. Not that one. The one that's like space facts. He knew everything. He knew like the pressures of atmospheres. He knew everything about space. I used to love listening to him talk about space. I love to watch Lex Friedman's podcasts. Yeah, you're chill, man. Talks about everything. So kind of like a Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman. I'll check him out, man. After a year of no work COVID last week, I had to go back to my parents' house. I hope I can be a good trader in the future, because man, this sucks bad. Thanks for the content as always. Just keep pushing, man. I love you, Aonomy. Keep pushing, man. Like, you got a good community here with people, and people want to see everybody succeed. So keep pushing, man. 0% risk if you're patient. Agreed. I think we could be very good friends in real life. My mindset resembles yours. That's good. I made a comment in Discord yesterday. Best friends are in liquid form. It was a complete joke, but yeah, stuff you don't get to do when you're a parent. Wife is very lucky. I want you as my spouse, and I'm a straight male. Open applications, accepting now. What life learnings did I miss? All of them. Did you expect this mini move back up? That's not unexpected. Teach me, senpai. You meditate? Not so much, no. I don't really meditate. Heracles. The pseudoscience astrology. Sounds like you had a really good family. Yeah, my mom was a doctor. My dad was a biker. Pretty interesting dynamic. I always say it on stream. It's like I grew up in like Sons of Anarchy, right? Dad's a biker. Mom's a doctor. Dynamic, that's for sure. Could you analyze Dash? It will move up if Bitcoin is moving up. Analytics done. No, seriously though, Adrian, it's just like, it'll move up if Bitcoin's moving up. It'll move down if Bitcoin's moving down. Everything's following Bitcoin. So just chart Bitcoin, and if you think Bitcoin's moving up, Dash will too. XRP chart, you did. I don't know, maybe an hour, Dan, maybe half an hour. Your first course back in 2018 is gold. Wait till I remaster it, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, 3 things I would tell a 20-year-old me. Dude, that's like the question, right? Like, that's the challenge. What would I tell the 20-year-old me? What was a 20-year-old me doing that was stupid? Find your wife faster. That would be number 1, because we knew each other for a lifetime, but I was kind of doing other things. You know what I mean? So find your wife faster. That would be the first thing. What would be the second thing? What would be the second thing I would tell myself? I wouldn't want to change any of my schooling. I wouldn't want to change my path in any way. Don't work so hard. I've worked way too hard in my life. I've sacrificed like everything of a normal life to kind of create what I've created with this. Don't work so hard. Although I wouldn't have created as much as I did, don't work so hard, because you don't need to. That would be the second thing I'd tell myself, because I'm like extremely hardworking. Yeah, don't work so hard would be like the second most important thing. If I could redo it, I would probably keep this stuff to myself. But I went down a path and I'm on it now. So I'm seeing it through till the day I die. But I would probably keep this stuff to myself if I would redo it all, just because it's led to me working like endless hours and missing like a lot of my own life to kind of do this stuff. But again, now I've started this path, I'm going to see it through till the day I die, right? So yeah, I would not teach what I learned in day trading, which is crazy to say. But the amount of sacrifice I've made to teach this stuff, I would not teach it. Dollars versus hours spent versus The things I've lost in life by teaching it, such as family time, time with my son, time with my daughter. There's no fucking way I would do this again. Pardon my language. But again, we're in it. So now we're here. We're in it. We've created, and now we're pushing, because now we can't stop, because now the bus is driving and the brakes are gone, where it's basically Speed, but there's no one to save us. The movie Speed. Number 3. Oh God, man, this is a screw you for asking this question, by the way. God, Monday morning and this shit is happening. Number 3. What would I tell myself? I'm trying to be as honest as I can too. Like, I'm just being honest, right? Like, feels a little weird to say that. Like, I don't want to be here, but it's not that I don't want to be here. It's just that, holy crap, I've sacrificed a lot. Number 3. I don't know what number 3 would be. Watch Shazam more, maybe? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It would be along the lines of the second one. Live life more, eat more pizza, drink more alcohol, enjoy more things in life instead of working so hard. I don't know. I don't know if I'd have a number 3. But those would be my 2. I'll think about number 3. I don't know. Thoughts about how Fortnite ruined its game. It was so fun 1.5 years ago. I always thought Fortnite was kind of a joke, to be honest with you. I was a PUBG guy. Fortnite came out and I was like, I'm a big fan of immersion. So when you have animation in games like that, and like this childish tone, great for kids. I'm an adult. I don't want to play games that have... I like Escape from Tarkov because of the immersion factor. I hate the hackers. I love the immersion. I love CSGO over Valorant because, again, I love the immersion. Fortnite for me, no thanks, dude. I'd rather play Mario Kart, which, by the way, is a pretty good game. Leave your girlfriend, buy BTC with all your savings, relax until February 2021. There you go, Dan P. You've got the real 1, 2, 3. The whole meditation chat makes me laugh. People do not realize that prescriptions do not work. The mind is wise to them. No prescriptions. Understanding truth is a key. I'm not sure. Western and Eastern medicine both have their place in the world. I respect Eastern medicine more than I do Western medicine because I believe Western medicine is a lot of band-aid fixes. I don't think it really cures anything. But at the same time, there are cures in Western medicine for things. So I think they both have their place. I think this comes back to kind of the pretext of what the issue is. Like, a lot of people think they have, I'm going to fuel the chat with this one. A lot of people think they have depression. They don't realize depression is onset by anxiety. And anxiety is just not being able to control situations that haven't happened. So your brain kind of gets into this thought spiral, this doom spiral, or this thought spiral. And so a lot of people think they have depression. It's not clinical depression. And if it's not clinical depression that actually needs medicine to cure an imbalance in your brain, it means you've onset it yourself through anxiety. So that's my take on depression. Now, I'm not a doctor, but this is the Eastern take on depression, and I agree with that take on it. Again, doesn't mean I'm right. So what Larkin is saying, I would agree with some parts of that, but I also think there's a place for Western medicine. I think there's a place in this world for both. You tell yourself to get your corporate account set up faster for Renova. No, dude, I've been waiting for that thing since last year. Last year, man, in 2020, I started setting that up in November. I started making the appointments. There is no sooner. I moved to where I moved in October. I set up my banking in like the beginning of November. There is no sooner. I wish, man. And I'm still waiting 2 weeks. It's stupid. Knick-knack. Blah, 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 blah. What do you say, knick-knack? Levels fit in terms of strength versus, say, a regular daily. Keep watching the advanced series and get through future training. It'll become clear as you do. Right in the kisser. Poker site is getting shut down. Yeah. Yeah, 1 hour mini uptrend. I'm just waiting to see if this pushes past this trend right now. Would you say that you are a natural teacher? Yes, I would say that. It's not a skill I learned. I think I've always been able to teach in life. I was teaching like my friends things about like Magic the Gathering and this and that. I was doing like mini classes teaching Magic the Gathering and stuff when I was like a kid. Just all sorts of things. I don't have any thoughts about on-chain Bitcoin analytics. That sounds like a bunch of crap. Stop smoking. Don't trust her. Enjoy the ride. Good advice. Eat more pizza is a good one. Do you like Warzone? Yeah, it's cool. Warzone's cool. I don't play it much, but it's chill. From what I see, there's just the game is overrun with hackers. It seems like it's a common thing right now in 2020 and 2021. A lot of people hacking in a lot of games, which kind of kills it. I think gaming is kind of in a weird spot right now. Can money make you happy? I don't know. I think it can give you things, and those things are fun. I think there's a certain type of happiness it can give you. I don't think it can give you like complete happiness. Dota versus LOL. Dota, dude. What? LOL is garbage. Tarkov's an awesome game, but it's a lot of hackers, man. In that game, it's really frustrating. Always Dota over League, dude. Dota 1 was like an expansion from Warcraft 3. I've been playing Dota since Warcraft 3 expansion days. Frozen Throne came out, they had mini games. Dota was one of the mini games. That's where Dota 1 came from. Ice Frog, dude. Mini game by Ice Frog. Ice Frog made Dota. I was playing Dota before Dota was Dota, man. And then I played Dota 1, Dota 2, was on like a professional team in Dota 2 back in the day. Dota 2, Dota all the way, man. That's not even a... That might be a boomer take, but like all of these kids playing LOL, dude, that's just like they missed the bus, man. I would play Heroes of Newerth over freaking League of Legends. Probably a shittier game, but like, yeah, I'm not into LOL at all. Warcraft 3 player. Yeah, Elijah said it, man. Warcraft 3 player. I played so much Warcraft 3, man. And Warcraft 2, dude. I grew up on that stuff. Warcraft 1 as well. You can join the Discord on Patreon, Kevin Gamachi. You have to sign up on Patreon to get Discord. How would you control anxiety? You watch Dr. K on Twitch, of course, dude. I love Dr. K's opinion. He's very much Eastern-minded too, in terms of his beliefs in medicine. I probably share a very similar opinion to Dr. K. Like there's places for Western medicine and there's places for Eastern. There is no one superior form. I think they both have something to offer. Yeah, Tarkov is fantastic. Prescriptions do work. Trust your doctors. Yeah. I agree with that. There's, you know, things that prescriptions work for sure. Depression onset by anxiety is not one of them, though. Love your videos. Thanks, man. You do not mean prescriptions in terms of medicine. Different prescriptions for different things, right? Just got into crypto. Lots of learning to do. Best tutorials on YouTube, hands down. Wait till we get the remastered course out, dude. That's gonna be hype. MTG, good old days, man. I have boxes of MTG cards still. I still remember some of the good ones that I sold. I was talking about this in Discord. I had like a couple Time Walkers that I sold, and those things are worth big bucks now. The form of how-tos, like this is how to meditate, is absolute nonsense. Are how-tos nonsense with meditation? I don't know. I think your view on creation of depression was spot on, speaking from experience. Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, anxiety is onset by situations you can't control, right? Isn't that like the doctoral definition and what they found through science? Like anxiety is caused by people who have, like, they've done brain pattern studies on this and brainwave studies, and they've done tons of studies on anxiety and, you know, how it leads to depression, and that onset depression is like the lead, like it's like 99.x% of the time it's caused by onset depression, right? It's like not everybody's on a special snowflake with their own form of depression and they're the one 99% of the time. And this has been studied. It's not just me saying it, right? Like, now, if you believe those studies or not, that's another, you know, another argument, but that's like completely your decision if you want to believe them or not. Yeah. Warzone was the go-to when quarantine started. Yep. Warzone's kind of done now, I think. You want 50k subs, donate 10k to Twitch streamers. I'm not that thirsty for it, man. Money can't make you happy, but if you achieve happiness without money, a greater income can increase happiness because it opens up possibilities. Dota forever. Agree, man. I think money can buy you things that you enjoy, and enjoyment is a form of happiness in life. I don't think it gives you the ultimate happiness. There's different levels of happiness. Do I dream charts? I used to. You went to a LAN cafe to play the Frozen Throne Dota maps, have fun. Yeah, I'm even more OG than that, man. I remember doing the Warcraft 2 customs prior to like the custom maps, not the campaign, but like they had custom maps where you would fight like the heroes before they had heroes in Warcraft 3 and stuff like that. Money makes me happy. Mindfulness classes are ridiculous when you actually have to remove anxiety. You technically need a free mind, not a full mind. Mindlessness is a better word. Don't you think that knowing a huge amount of Bitcoin moves from private wallets to Binance can be a good indication? Nah, not at all. Giving you a bit of a hedge? Not at all. Jesus, dude, chat's popping off today. That's because I'm talking about things I'm fueling people up. When you traded options, you trade fundamentals? No, not at all. Purely technicals, dude. Legends of Runeterra. I haven't played Runeterra, no. Do you meditate? Not really. I learned like a lot of meditation techniques. Like I have like just different things I do. My own form of meditation, I guess, like my morning routines and stuff like that. Float tankers are cool, man. Nothing really gets me rattled in life, so I don't find I need to meditate to have that form of release. There's not much that really bothers me. Random dude, what do you do? I don't know, man. Sounds like you're better equipped in dealing with those kind of guys than I am. Microdose LSD? Yeah, I think that's cool. I never tried it, but I think it's cool. Like, if you want to try it, try it. We're not all special snowflakes. This is correct. Very difficult to sleep with so much anxiety. 9-to-5 jobs would be very difficult. I like that. That's cool. It's an actual educational resource and not some clickbait, make $1,000 a day advertising some indicator bullshit that you see all over YouTube these days. You know, the funny thing about those is that you guys should see. You guys should see the amount. Oh, we're at trend, by the way. Nice. You guys should see the amount of like sponsor deals like I get asked to do. It's ever since I started streaming on YouTube and putting out like high production quality, I probably get like 20 people a day, like 20 companies a day coming to me. We'll pay you to show this indicator. We'll pay you to show that indicator. And I only have like 9,900 people on my channel. My channel is by no means huge, but I guess I have an advantage because it's such good quality content. But there's so many people out there who like jump at the chance to make $200 to like talk about how great an indicator is. Like it's so crazy, man. It's so crazy how often I get asked to do this stuff. It's like I can't even get through the emails every day how many times I'm getting asked to do things. I don't even answer them because it's just like, man, it's actually insane. A lot of those things, like I make $1,000 a day, is just like purely like sponsored content. There's a lot of people who are like on YouTube who simply just pick a topic that they are comfortable with, like day trading could be one of them, and they make videos on it and live off sponsorships. You say it instantly and it makes you feel more confident, better equipped to handle a situation. I don't know if I have one. I think being in martial arts, you just kind of, yeah, nothing really melts you. It just, like, you just kind of learn how to like look at things with kind of a raised eyebrow and just kind of stand there and think. That discipline. I don't think I really like have a mantra. I don't think I have anything that I say. I think the factors of happiness is money and not being lonely. Like I said, I think it's pretty cliche to be like, oh, money can't make you happier. Oh, money makes you so happy. I think there's like a certain type of happiness that money gives you that is achieved only through money, but that doesn't give you like an ultimate happiness. I think that's like the easiest way to like dissect that. Money can't make you happy completely, but money sure can give you some happiness. Let me tell you a thing or two about money and happiness. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain level of happiness that it does give you, but it doesn't give you like the complete picture. Your life can, let's put it this way. Your life can be extremely empty and you can be financially very wealthy, but your life can still be extremely empty. So you will be happy in some regards, and then in other regards, you'll be missing out on things in life. So It's your journey. Why not get it all? Like if you go and order a hamburger, do you want also the bun and the lettuce and the mustard and the fried onions, or do you go to order a hamburger and you just want the bottom bun, right? Like you don't get any meat, nothing. That's kind of shit. So I think it's like the same thing. Money is like a hamburger bun. And that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin is moving, dude. That means nothing. You're reading too much into like tchotchke logic. You're trying to be like a fortune teller on the charts because somebody's moving 10,000 Bitcoin from Binance to a private wallet. It could just be a hedge fund doing an audit. Hedge funds do that all the time. People don't know anything about hedge funds. They have audit trails that they have to prove that the money is there because they have to be considered what's called an active trading account. And in order to be an active trading account, there's certain periods of time where you can only have freeze outs on the money. So it can only sit in a wallet or an exchange or in one spot for a certain amount of time. And then there's security reasons why people would be moving it off because they have expirations on their security keys. That's completely meaningless when someone moves 10,000 Bitcoin. There's a million reasons they could do that. It has nothing to do with the price of where it's going or what the charts are showing you. Absolutely nothing. Sponsor number one, Bybit. Yeah. Lol. Would you say only to watch FOT? Yeah, I mean, it's good. Yeah, it would be good to watch FOT. 10 consecutive 1,000 BTC movements from Binance Above. It doesn't mean anything, dude. Check whale alert. That's, oh, dude, you got to wake up, man. I mean, if that's the way you're trading, you're in the wrong place, my dude. This channel is the wrong place for you. You got to get those thoughts out of your head. There's a million reasons why money could move. It could be a security protocol. It could be freeze outs on wallets. It could be for counting purposes. There's so many reasons that people get tricked by stuff like that. You've got to like, if you really think it's that easy, ping hacker, everybody would be rich and you guys wouldn't all be sitting here in my chat asking me what's happening. And not to put myself on a pedestal, but like you guys wouldn't be looking to see what's happening from somebody who can try to help you. If it was that easy, people like me wouldn't exist because you guys would all be billionaires already because it would just be so easy that you just have to follow a Twitter account and it's all fucky or easy. You're in the money. Like that's just not, it doesn't make sense. And again, I'm not trying to like say like, man, what's wrong with you? Give your head a shake. But it's like, yeah, man, what's wrong with you? Give your head a freaking shake, man. That's not the way it works. There's a million reasons why Bitcoin can move. It could be simple security protocols. I've been with exchanges. I've been with corporate accounting. There's times where you have to, in order to be an active account in terms of taxes, you have to have what's called daily activity. That could just be like a normal daily audit for them. They could have 10 different holding accounts. They could have a corporate setup where they have one major account with 3 sister companies, and those 3 sister companies could all be parent companies to their own 4 of their own sister companies that are all sisters to that parent company to the larger shareholding company. And they could all be moving 1,000 Bitcoin to each one of them to subdivide it so that they have different tax write-off purposes, or so they have different taxation clarifications on their status of what their fund is. It could be a family office doing this. It could be a hedge fund. Dude, that is so like far out there in terms of thinking. You've got to get that out of your head. Go big or go home. It's not a get rich quick thing. Exactly. Don't you got to get that like get rich quick out of your mind. CBD. I've heard good things about CBD. I've heard really good things about CBD. Truffles when I need it, it's actually greatly benefited me. Oh, truffles are great, dude. I don't know what you mean by microdose truffles. If there's more in your truffles than what's in my truffles, but you know, I've had truffles are pretty good with like the gold in them. They're pretty good. Money is really like a hamburger. I don't want pickles on it. See, Hassan gets it. Hassan is on the right page, man. Happiness is now getting deep. Who would make the money? I guess we'll see in the future, Heracles. There are a ton of people that define happiness around things they don't have or wish they had. So yeah, the problem is also that you don't really know what happiness is. Yeah, I mean, money gives you certain amounts of happiness. It's foolish to say it doesn't. It's not a complete happiness. It's a very specific type. Like peanut butter tastes like peanut butter. When I want peanut butter, nothing else will do, right? That's like money. There's a certain quality it has to it, but it doesn't mean you can eat peanut butter for the rest of your life. You'd actually go crazy if all you had was peanut butter. You'd actually lose your mind, right? Brutal farts on shrooms. Nice, dude. Oh, you're not talking about me. Okay, well, for whoever was like trying to justify the accounting, or not the accounting, the whale alerts, like, dude, that's just like, you're just answering somebody else. Yeah. Too much sharing, damn P. Money doesn't get everything. It's true. I would be shorting this trend. Like, if I wasn't already in BTC down, I'd be taking my position now. And if a trend breaks, I would just get out. It's a very simple trade. It's almost like no risk, and the upside is huge. Your chat is a bunch of hippies today. You get older in life and you want to experience things, man. Allegations on Tether might just be printing USDT out of thin air and pumping Bitcoin with it. Those allegations are like, they've been around forever, right? Like, back in the day, people said that Tether wasn't really based on any money. I think there's a lot of truth to that, actually, Nej. If you're asking me to like speculate, so back in the day, Tether, for people who don't know, Tether was maybe this was around 2016. I don't remember. Maybe it was around Mount Gox era. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyways, back in the day, what happened is Tether. It was speculated that there was not enough US dollars backed in an account to actually back Tether. So the problem with that is that Tether is supposed to be backed by the US dollar. It's USDT, right? Like, it's US dollars in Tether form. So legally, the owners of Tether, which is BitMEX, would have to prove that they have $1 of Tether for every dollar that they have out there. So if there's $10 billion worth of Tether, they would have to be able to guarantee that from a security standpoint. So the Securities Commission would make them guarantee that, and they would have like an audit proof and a trail. So there was a big thing back in the day where it was believed that there was not enough money in Tether. Now there was like lawsuits brought up to it, and they ended up being able to prove that some wallets did in fact have those amounts. But that doesn't mean the allegations weren't true. That doesn't mean that they just made a deal with somebody or sold shares to prop wallets that they were being protected by from a legal standpoint. They hire lawyers. The lawyers are really good, and they'll say, we'll provide you with these wallets. This should be sufficient proof based on what your allegations are. And if your allegations can be substantiated further, well, then at that point, we'll reconvene and see if there's a need to give you more proof to our defense. So then back in the day, there was enough evidence to prove that some Tether was indeed backed by dollars. But who's to say this wasn't? Like, then you get deeper into the theories that never really was there, and that BitMEX was just printing, and then they do all these like downtimes, and all of a sudden money's appearing in these wallets, and they bought enough time. Maybe they sold shares, maybe they did downtimes. I think there's a lot more to that story, Nej, than a lot of people would really see. Do I think the allegations are true? I could never know. Do I think that they're real allegations that have a real potential of I don't think they're far-fetched. Let's put it that way. I don't think they're far-fetched. Do I believe them full-heartedly? No. But I wouldn't say they're not real. I would say there's a lot we'll never know. So I think this is like very, very relevant in crypto as a whole, not just Bitcoin. I think this is like the backbone of what crypto is representing, which is cancer, right? Like, this is why some of the reasons why I do think that crypto can't succeed. I think that's a really, really good comment, Nej. Thank you for saying that, because I think that's really something that people need to be aware of. The other side of this world in crypto trading, that isn't just, hey, Bitcoin's moving up, it's down, it's a bull market, it's a bear market, holy crap, fancy terms. Like, there's another world out there: counting, taxes, responsibility, structure, realism. There's a whole other world that people don't look at. Favorite Dark Souls boss? Guilty confession, never played Dark Souls. I know, I'm a terrible human being. It's probably like regarded as one of the best games ever. Never played it. Sorry, man. I know you probably hate me. I hate myself for it. Don't worry. Look in the mirror and say, why haven't you played Dark Souls? Just haven't played it, man. I know how crazy good of a game it is. I watch it on streams. Just don't play it. Like, I'm never going to catch up on chat. Money gives you opportunities, not happiness. True. You'll have to find happiness. True, dude. Very true. You're a sad panda. Don't be a sad panda, man. Not a good look. Founders of Tether are connected to the Italian mafia. Now nobody knows because it's all hush hush. I thought Tether stopped printing since a lawsuit. How can we ever know? This is the problem with crypto. Like all these comments in chat. Oh, they're connected to the Italian mafia. Sounds crazy. Maybe true. Maybe true. How do we know it's not true? Usually allegations they start from fact. And then however far that allegation goes is like however propped up the story gets. Some people are purists. I'm a purist. I will only ever tell people the truth and I'll only ever do technical analysis. I don't give a shit about anything else. I'm a purist. So what I say, I like to be as factual as possible within, I won't even say it if it's not real or truth. Some people aren't like that. So where does a story come from? Now, so like, who's to say it doesn't come from the Italian mafia? Who's the journalist? Is he a purist? Is this actually something true? They stopped printing since the lawsuit. This is another thing. Is this true? How can we ever know? This is the problem with crypto, is that it's so invisible that how can this ever be something in our real world when there's already solutions that bypass all these problems? To do a video breaking down how all these fundamentals work, history of crypto, why TA works and how it does, trading as an individual, part of a corporation, taxing that goes with each. Yeah, so this is like back to the stock markets, not crypto. This is just something that's in crypto, as the history of crypto has no effect on any of these things. Actually, TA, none of that. This stuff has all been there well before crypto was here and will be here well after crypto was here. Crypto is just the popular middleman right now that fell in the crossfires. You won't even notice it 99% of the time. It's a very subtle effect. Oh, so you're talking about CBD still. Yeah. You guys are having a big conversation about CBD. I find it shady how they keep stalling with the court. I would try to clean up my name as fast as possible. Good point. Another good point, Nej. Not wrong. Absolutely not wrong. More fancy terms. Death cross, read the candles, massacre. Yeah. A revised FOT? No, it's too big, man. I'm not going to do a revised FOT. I've thought about it. It's just not possible. I actually caught up on chat an hour later. Holy crap, dude. Well, I got to stop reading so much chat comments and get bigger. I'm not going to be able to do this. Let's enjoy it now while we can, because if this stream gets bigger, I can't take this time to read chat like this. This is crazy. Where did you draw that trend from? It's magic, man. How long before you quit the stream? I was only going to stream for 20 minutes at 7 o'clock because I want to put my sound panels up, but now we chat like went in. We're doing like Monday deep talk. That's what I love about this stream. You know what? It's like so, like, you don't need to chart anything. We have our trend. We've had it all morning. We've been sitting waiting for this moment. Take a short if you think it's going to reject and get out of your short if it moves above it. This is so simple. That's what I love about this this stream, is like I can chat about. It's not like, guys, if I was sitting here like, oh, Bitcoin's moving up and we're about to break the trend. Holy shit, this level's coming. Let's go. There's only one moment we need to trade, and it's the trend, and it's been there all morning, and we would have taken a short on it already. Where I'm already in BTC down. I'm going to exit my BTC down if this trend breaks, and I'm pretty neutral on my position, and it's just as simple as that. We'll wait till the next level. Everything. There is no like hyping this thing out like it's some big sports broadcast. It's so like the trend is there. It's been there since we started this thing at 7 o'clock. It's been here for 2 hours. We're at our target. There's nothing else to talk about. If you know what you're doing in trading, this is like the very acute moments, and you just trade the acute moments. There's nothing here to sportscast. Like I can't make this exciting. I'm sure I could. It would just seem like so fake. I'd rather chat about random crap in life. If we start hard closing this trend, just get out of your downs. Easy, man. Easy peasy. You agree with Nassim Taleb? BTC has failed because it's too volatile, not stable. I don't know what he means by BTC has failed. It hit a level. I don't know about failure. I think anybody pretending to know if it's failed or succeeded is completely out of their minds. You could take a guess and be right half the time. I think that's what he's doing, taking a guess. Yeah, I don't have any plans to redo future of trading. It's too long of a course. It's relevant enough. It's too long of a course. I would love to have like a more polished version of it out there, but I think it's okay for now. I don't think there's a big benefit to pushing months and months of production. Wouldn't you guys rather see me put out like Blueprint Part 2 or something like that than redoing what's already out there? That's my take on it. Magic equals BE. Yep. Watching all your tutorials. Got to say thank you for your knowledge. You've dropped it. It helped you more than any other YouTubers. Good, man. Right on. Right on, my dude. More money. Only Bitcoin. More money, less risk. How to dodge other cryptos are not really as affected as I thought from tweets or news. Yeah, dude, just complete garbage. Channel might be a good outlet for you, and it's education for us. Win-win. There you go. Make courses free. Future trading is free. Blueprint will be free. See if this trend breaks on a bigger time frame. This is the important trend. This kind of decides the whole move. So if this thing starts breaking on larger time frames, it starts holding over trend. You've got a clear exit. You've already got an entry on your down contracts right now. Perfect price. Look at this, 850 on Bitcoin. I got it like 8.7 or 8.8. It's the perfect time to take your down spots. If this continues to hold over trend, just get out because Bitcoin's not done its move. If not, then this could possibly be setting up the failure on Bitcoin. Very simple. Very straightforward. I have troubles getting distracted when watching FOT. I always end up in charts. Any tips? Focus more? Not too sure. As the channel gets bigger, more content will go free. So as we hit more landmarks, Blueprint will come out. As we hit more landmarks, I'll consider releasing Butterfly Effect version 1. We have to hit more landmarks though, because I'm not just going to release them to release them. As we hit more landmarks, I want to use that as motivation for people to continue to learn and to continue. And there's a lot of content I still need to put out there. So, you know, there's like a very, very simple path here forward. And it's more subscribers equals more content. That's what I want for my channel right now, because I do want people to start taking this stuff seriously. And the more people I have, the better it looks. It's sure, SMB7, Mike. I love this, Mike. You just have to be talking right into it. And I have like a big soundboard here and stuff. I have a big soundboard. I have a cloud filter. You know, I'm using all XLR cables. I've got, yeah, it's like I have a really nice sound setup. I'm going to keep going like this, Dimitri. I'm putting all of my effort into YouTube. I've just committed my whole year to YouTube and Patreon and YouTube. That's it now. There's no more new courses coming out. And when we hit more landmarks, more courses will come out on YouTube. I'll consider releasing Butterfly Effect segment 1 if we hit a bigger landmark, and 2, and keep rewarding my patrons who support me on Patreon. We'll make some different goals throughout the year, and things will just keep growing. That's the plan. Yeah, like, you know what, guys, this should be like a good lesson for anybody who's like trying to think like, oh man, this is so boring. This is how day trading is. We have like critical pinpoint moments. So like when you get to the top level of day trading, you're going to have pinpoint moments that you trade. Like we knew since we started this thing at 7 o'clock, here's trend. This is the only level I have had marked on my screen all morning, and I've just sat here and waited. This is day trading at the highest level, because you have pinpoint information. And when that pinpoint information fails or succeeds, then you have moments of acuity. And these moments of acuity lead to polarization in the charts. And when a move is polarized, it's either going to completely fail or completely move up, which is what this is. So this is day trading. There is no fancy like do this, do that. It's going to either break its trend and it's polarized up, or it's going to fail its trend and it's starting to confirm that it is moving down long term right now. Like it's very straightforward, this stuff. Like you guys can see the trend right here. I didn't just draw this. This has been here for a long time. This has been here for a long time. The breach points and base points are all back there. You can't even see them on the screen. So this is like, yeah. If anybody thinks like the alt chat is boring, this is actually what keeps us going, is just chilling out, having a community. And that's what I envision for this channel in the future, because you guys will all get so good that, you know, all this extra mind space and attention and framework you guys are doing, and all this extra like oh man, I gotta have 5 charts open. Let's go up here. Let's buy the best version of TradingView and open 92 charts, and we'll have levels marked here and there and trade this and trade that. It's not real, man. It's just, there's like moments of acuity. This is what keeps you going, because otherwise it's a very depressing time being a day trader, because you have no community, you have no one to talk to, you have no real guidance. Like there's nothing there. It's just like a very lonely journey, and you can be rich and lonely, right? Like, so this is like a point I hope people take away from this stream today, is like, we may be chatting about a lot of stuff, but it also helps keep us focused in day trading, because then we can assess these moments perfectly. Look, you guys have perfect down entries, ETF entries right now, and perfect exits. You have a no risk proposition, and on one side of this thing, if this is failure, like we've said it's going to be, not that I'm saying it's guaranteed to be failure, but that it's going to pull back off trend. If it continues to pull back, you just got the tops of all ETFs in the market before they give you a 20,000% return, right? Like, it's just moments of acuity in charts. They exist all the time. So this is like really important for people to realize this and see this. There's no like, people are trying to like all these indicators and hype it up and overread situations. Talked about this in Patreon yesterday. The most advanced version of a day trader you can ever become is just this. I'll show you guys. This is something I went over. It's good to share. I'm not oversharing. I use this for teaching, I use this for teaching, and I use this for teaching. And this one, you don't even use this one, actually. This is just so like, oh, I'm on a trend and I need to get out. I need to just go back to this. So you don't even need this. I just use this because I like it. So there's a little shortcut. This is the most advanced version of trading you can ever use, is understanding the concepts at the deepest level while only using 2 tools. These are the only 2 tools you'll ever need as a day trader, just these 2 lines. If your screen looks like this, you're doing it at the highest level, which is counterintuitive to what people would think, to add more and more and more and more. As beginners, you guys add more charts, you add more indicators, you add more lines, you add more levels. As you get better, after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you start learning to take those things away, because the moments of acuity are the only moments that matter in the charts. So this is the most advanced form of a chart you'll ever see as a day trader. Those 2 tools is all you'll ever need. Everything else doesn't matter. Take it away. You have trouble accepting that? Well, rewind this and listen to it again. I don't know. I have an Elgato, dude. It's right there. I've got an Elgato right in front of me. It helps me switch scenes. So when I go to like maybe Forex or something, I just hit a button here and it does a nice little transition. Fades in all my stuff, fades out. Got like subscriber button and stuff like that. I don't like spamming the subscribe button, but I can go hit my subscribe button. It'll pop up like a nice little subscribe graphic. Kind of find it like I don't like using it. I use it like once a stream maybe. There's the one time I'll use it. Let's go to my talking scene. Oh, I hit the button twice. I might screw it up, but that's okay. There might be a little error here. Yeah, the fade broke because I smashed it twice by accident like an idiot. Yeah, I love my Elgato Stream Deck. Thing's awesome, dude. Maybe I can lift this up. I don't know if I can. I can't really lift it up. The cord's kind of tight. Anyways, it's here. It's an XL, the big boy. Yeah, snow in Texas today. Crazy, right? Let's go back to Bitcoin. I guess you guys don't want to miss this move. Morning from Australia. Morning to Australia, dude. Really appreciate it. Once I make some money, I'll definitely join your Patreon. Right on, dude. That's all I ask people to support on Patreon. Join the community, learn more. Yeah, if you're successful, join Patreon. Join Patreon and pay it back. What part of Canada do you live in? So my Patreon community helps me continue this journey, right? Like my Patreon community helps me continue doing this stuff because I make no money on YouTube. I make $1 an hour. Like I've made $0 in this 2.5 hours of time on YouTube. I think by the end of a week, I'll make $1 during this 2.5 hours. So unless people donate, I don't make money. I have my trade income, of course, but then like that's different than producing content, right? So yeah. Part of Canada you live in? West Coast. I just moved to the West Coast. I was central before, in the prairies. Snowing and no power. We've got snow here. It's snowing in Canada. We're in like a vortex in Canada, like a ice vortex or a snow vortex. How is this boring? Fascinating. There's insane amounts of info to be gathered. I like it, man. I'm having fun. This is their futures chart. Yeah, this is perp. I only trade 100x, so this is a perp chart that I use, Wilco. Analysis paralysis is real. Yeah. Hope you're having a bullish day. Have any books? No, not really, dude. I taught it all to myself, so no. You can't find the same trend. It's magic, dude. Ever thought about showing on stream donations? They're showing right now, dude. There's zero. there's no donations to be shown, dude. I don't get them. Oh, I do, but I think the most I've ever gotten is $20 in one day. I don't. Yeah, there is no like on-screen donations to show, dude. Just it's an old one. Just copy it from him here. Yeah, that's yeah. Hopefully Bitcoin pulls back here. This is like a perfect spot to load up your like ETFs. Bitcoin pulls back and yeah, you're good. If it breaks trend, then you just get out of your ETFs and you have like no loss. Waiting for volume. I don't look at volume. You're not trying to confirm a break on the 1 minute. There's other things going on, Dan P. Most importantly, you're trying to see if this trend can hold the move down. Because if this trend holds the move down, then you're going to attempt to break the move again. So more importantly is just the trend holding. Moment of silence for Bitcoin. There's like a feature in chat. If you hover over your chat, there should be something called super chat, I think is what YouTube calls it. And you can donate with that and you get like a highlighted message in the live chat screen. So I think if you hover over chat, I'm new to it. I don't exactly know, but I think when you hover over chat, there should be like a little money symbol somewhere in your chat bar. Yeah, I can see it. Right under where it says okay, so it says like your name, what you want to type, and then there's like a little money symbol right underneath that. And then you can just like donate, I guess. Super chat, yeah. Send a highlighted message. I think that's what they call it on YouTube, is super chat. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I mean, everybody takes their cut. I don't think they take 30%. That's really high. I don't think it's quite that high. I think it's like maybe 6 or 7%. Let's Google it. Oh, it is 30%. It's high. Well, it is what it is. How YouTube does their business. So I get 70, they get 30. Well, lucky for YouTube, man. They're making good cash. You can donate on Patreon as well. Bitcoin keeps holding here. It's going to move up. It's holding the range really well. We do need to see some kind of failure here on this trend. This is the important one. This is kind of for all the marbles in the move, this trend. It's why you take a short here. Or like whatever, ETFs or whatever your flavor is. It's why you take a position here on whatever your flavor is. Contract or ETF or spot on something else, margin, whatever. It's why you would take a position here, because this trend is kind of for all the marbles here. If this trend breaks, you're probably going to be pushing up a new high on Bitcoin again. This trend is everything in the move. Like I said, this is it. If you're going to set up a dump, it's going to be off this trend. So I watched WandaVision yesterday. Decent show. Not a fan of MCU, but decent show. Yeah, there's really nothing left holding this move after this breaks. If this breaks, this is kind of like it. So we're going to see. Yeah, WandaVision, though, not bad. Surprised how good it was. You can still ladder the move up at like 49.2-ish, but it's getting pretty risky there. Really only like to take like no risk trades. Even now I'm like 1% down on my position. Like such a small amount, but still it's like, yeah, risk is risk. Whether it's 1% or 50, risk is risk regardless of the amount. Breathing intensifies. Yeah. You define the break. Oh, $2 from Hassan. Thanks, man. Thanks so much. If BTC drops, SPX down is going to fly. Yeah. I would. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Depends how much Bitcoin drops, but yeah, I mean, all the down contracts will fly. Everybody keeps asking me about my trend. Told you guys it's magic. Probably don't track this, but what would you say is the average percentage to which I take profit? So I take profit usually around between 2 to 5%, depending on the move. I think I would average out about like at 3%, maybe around 3%. So that's like 7,500 in a trade. So that gets me most of my daily goal. Like if my goal is to make 10K a day, then 3% is kind of like almost there. So I'll probably do like 3% usually. If the move really doesn't have a lot of room, like I'm going to base this based on the move always. It's not like a static percentage, but every move is different. Like I took a position down here last night. Like I bought a 2,500 contract rate like here-ish. And I sold right here. So that was like obviously way too soon, but this was like 2 and a bit. Yeah, so it was like 2 and a bit. I just remember the trade from last night. That's why I knew the percentage. So it's like 2 and a bit percent because it was almost 3%. So it hit almost 3% and then it started to pull back and I was like, well, that's good. So this is kind of like where I'm, gauging it for myself, but it's always going to be dependent on the move. Like, had I been in this trade a little longer, obviously this would have been a much better trade. 7%, that's a lot, but again, at the same time, it was relatively quick. Like it was a relatively quick trade and a lot of money for a relatively short amount of time. God, where's the trend, please? I don't know, guys. Like it's just magic. I'm not mocking you, I promise. It's just like, but don't worry about where to mark the trend. It's just like understanding why this trend is important is like really the key here. Does the down on SPX means basically you're shorting when you buy? Yeah, pretty much, Ross. It's like a leverage short, but you're using a spot contract ETF, kind of like an options contract if you know options. This is for all the marbles in the move. This is saying like whether we go back down to like 20 or 10K on Bitcoin or whether we keep pushing an all-time high. See how important this trend is, guys? It's vital. That's why you take a down contract right here. Only honest traders like Cotton, Jojo Fang have not too many viewers. But the shitty traders with their post get rich quick have tons of viewers. That's because everybody's looking for shortcuts, man. Everybody thinks the stock market's just like easy money. If they only knew. It is really easy money. Let me tell you a thing or two about easy money and making it quick and fast. It's very easy money, but like you have to be very knowledgeable to do it. A doctor's job, like let's talk about this for a second. A doctor's job, a lawyer's job, as they get better, it's not that hard. A lawyer gets presented with a lawsuit and there's some details that change every time, but really the law stays the same. A doctor has a new patient and they have to, do a surgery, and the surgery procedures are the same. They may change here and there, but with the relative amount of normalcy, it's all the same, is it not? It's kind of like the same thing with trading. Like all these moves are kind of all the same. They all change a little bit, and they're all, as you get down and further into it, it's all fairly easy. They just changes a little bit every single time, right? So yeah, it's like all the same. It is easy, but there's a long journey to make it easy. Like that's like, holy shit, good luck getting there. But like, practice law for 20 years and all cases become kind of easy in a way, right? Like it's kind of the same thought process or the same mentality. Nobody wakes up saying like, oh man, I can't wait to be a day trader. The only reason I'm here is because I needed to make money online because poker shut down. And it was like, oh, I can do this in stocks and pay for my education. I had no plans on being a day trader. And then I fell in love with how creative and beautiful the art is. Like every time you open a chart, like this is your Mona Lisa. Like this is a blank canvas and it's up to you to draw on it. I'm a really creative person. So like, I think that shows in my videos. I do like all these wonky openings, but I love doing those. I hope people like those like wonky openings I do. I keep planning to do them. So no matter what you guys say, I'll do those wonky openings, but I like doing like kind of like a scripted opening, like kind of like a little meme skit or whatever. That's why like nobody wakes up saying like, oh, I want to be a day trader. That doesn't happen. People aren't like, oh man, stock markets. Yeah, let's go. Maybe, but then those are usually people who go to school for financing, and then that doesn't help them day trading anyway. So it's kind of like this weird gray area that's, I think it's going to explode in the next few years. Like I think a younger generation is going to catch on to what's going on here, and I think you're going to see it explode, right? Yeah, like nobody wakes up wanting to day trade. So there's a lot of people who just do actually want to just make a few bucks quick. So that's like the problem, right? Like you say, like markets attract people who want to make quick money. It's true. That's like really the only criteria to getting into the market. So that's why I got into it, because actually I couldn't play poker, and I was like, man, I need to click buttons online and make money. How can I do this? Stock markets seems easy enough. Holy crap, little did I know. But it's funny because I always kind of wanted to get into stocks. It wasn't one moment. Like I think back and it wasn't like one moment that I was like, whoa, what if that moment never happened? It had crossed my mind for years to get into the stock markets. What's the percentage of you being wrong here? What do you mean when you say what's the percentage of me being wrong about this trend? I'm not wrong about this trend. When you decide we have fully rejected cotton. Just watching, man. How did Abe down go from 70 sats to 700? Oh, they add another zero to the chart. When it goes too low in price, they just add another zero. They just shift the decimal over. It's President's Day today. Main difference is if you mess up a surgery, you lose somebody. Yeah. Difference of being a pro or not, right? Pros don't make mistakes. And when we do, we have dire consequences. There's such a negative connotation about day trading, probably because of the amount of junk content out there. I think a lot of people lose a lot of money in day trading. Like the statistics for successful day traders is like an actual anomaly. I don't think there's a lower success rate in any field in the world. I think you have a better chance of, honest to God, being an astronaut because there's more controllable variables in that than you do a successful day trader. Maybe not. I think astronauts have it pretty tough. Maybe that was a bit of an extreme example, but I would kind of like put it as one of the hardest things to be successful at. So I think like the barrier to get in is so low. You literally pick up the phone and call your bank and be like, yo, John, I want to toss that big 50K on GME. Let's pop it, baby. And that's it. Like that's the barrier for getting into day trading, right? It's just literally pick up the phone and call your bank and just tell them to invest in a stock. That's it. That's the barrier to get into day trading. So imagine the amount of failure that comes with that, right? So that's the problem with day trading, is the barrier is so low to get in. It's not like where you have to get, like, you want to be an architect. Okay, go to school for 11 years and then, you know, study, get your stamp, go study for a firm, prove it to them for 3 years, take government testing. Okay, then you can go and maybe you'll be able to draw a building. You know what I mean? Like, look at the barrier of entry for day trading and the amount of failure, the amount of knowledge you need to be successful versus the barrier of entry. It's just, it's such a dystopia. No wonder people are failing like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and you just think about it, it's kind of crazy how it's created, but it's also kind of beautiful because at the same time, it allows the uppers, right? The big doggies up top, it allows them to just create and keep creating dumb money in the market. So it's kind of beautiful at the same time. It's like the most elaborate system you could create to allow people and dumb money to just be funneled into the industry. So hedge funds never have a worry in their life because there's so much dumb money out there. It's sick. So it's kind of like this beautiful, disgusting balance. How easy it is for dumb money to get into the industry is just like crazy. And then, you know, who's taking advantage of that? The pros. So like, let's keep it easy. Let's make this field like super productive. Let's go, you know, prop the analytics on the stupidest things we can hear. Let's go create indicators for people and pay for them to be advertised so that people can use them and lose money. Hell, this is feeding our pockets. Hire developers, make indicators, make an SMA, make an HMA, make a DMA, make a VMA, make a 2-ply MA, make all the freaking moving average things you want, make a new one, make one that's combined with a new one, make a new algo, spend 10 grand to design it, market it for 20 grand. What's the net return on that? Like $40 million. You know, so it's just like, nice, over 2 hours today. Fighting hard, Cotton. She's fighting, dude. Leave a wrench in at 7:47 and over 200 people can die. True, right? It's like, where's the barrier of entry? There's a lot of trash out there. It's really crazy. It's so crazy, dude. Yes, I think that's one of the biggest like contributors to why my channel is the way it is. I literally refuse to look. I have had so many people tell me, oh, check out this channel, what he's doing is cool, is it real? I'm just like, no, I don't. Yep, cool. I've never looked at another YouTube day trader in my life. I think like maybe twice. Misclick, or I was curious about an ad. Like it was like such an obnoxious ad that I was like, oh my god, I have to see what this guy's talking about because this is so fake, it's not even funny. And that would have been like one time, and another time would have been like too many people mentioned it in one day, and I'm like, okay, you guys need to stop talking. I'll just go take a look, and I'll just die on the inside in a corner and shake for half an hour. I don't think I've ever looked at another content creator when it comes to day trading ever in my life. I just do my thing. If there's better or worse, I don't know. I know there's worse because I see the ads. I go on some of these other channels, I go in there and I have a mini seizure for 30 seconds and get out as fast as I can before it gets out of hand. Not to, you know, I'm not going to say anybody specifically, but just there's a lot of bad content. I agree with the chat. There's a lot of bad content. The amount of traders who don't use TA surprises me. Yeah, it's crazy. The debt college can create. I have a, you know, I'm not a believer in school too much anymore. I'm a university graduate, master's, double major, 11 years in, and I would say that university needs to change. I always imagine that would happen if there was a 4-year college day trading program. Yeah. Oh, dude, $20 from freaking JC, man. That's so cool, man. That's the biggest dono I've ever received. Dude, JC 20. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Feels good, man. Nice posy vibes from JC. Yes, I just said posy vibes. Back to Calabasas. Thank you so much, JC. Dude, super cool of you to do that. Big thumbs up, man. I don't know. I don't have any like, yeah, let's do fist bumps and dance and this and that, but thank you so much, dude. I have cool trends I can draw. Let's draw the, thank you for the 20. I don't know. Let's just see some content gut talk up or down. Trend is there, man. I'm already on a short. Must burn your soul to watch those videos. Feels like it. 91 viewers, only 51 likes. Come on, guys. Let's push this channel. I don't disagree. Hassan is on the right idea. These indicator ads that played before your videos, LMFAO, yeah. Pretty bad. YouTube ads are pretty bad. You're very logical and you're definitely somewhere in the Asperger's spectrum, and that's a good thing. Don't take any offense. I don't know what that means. I believe that everybody, if I understand it correctly, everybody has a certain level of autism inside their spectrum. Now, some people, they have almost an undistinguishable amount where you can't see anything on it. Like everybody falls under a grading, right? And so everybody has some form of autism, and for some people it's like 0.1, and some people it's like 100 points, or I don't know how they scale it. But anyways, if you were to think about it in a point system, that I think that's how it works. But no, I think everybody has some of that, right? I think that is a compliment. So thank you, man. Even if it wasn't a compliment, I would just be like, oh, I hope not. This high school dropout, and in all this 13 years of hard work, I'm only 10% of the people of my generation in my country that has already worked more than 2 years, and they all have their masters. It's so crazy, the world right now. Always laugh when trading ads play before your videos. Yeah, they're pretty good. Two shoulders holding a teapot. I hope they don't drop the teapot, man. Any tea drinkers in this chat will be severely offended. If it was a coffee pot, I would be on my edge of my seat, but it's tea, so you know I don't really care if it drops. If this was a coffee pot though, dude, I would be freaking like popping off. Cannot bear YouTube anymore without an ad blocker. How do you do this? Ad blockers mean less money for me. Disable the ad blockers. I need your juicy ad money. It's not Twitch money. It's not Bezo dollars. Who owns YouTube? Whoever that is, it's their dollars. It's not Bezo dollars. It's not Amazon Prime, Twitch. Not the Bezo dollars. An awfully hot coffee pot. Told you guys, this trend is everything in this move. Like, this is where you take your shorts, and simple as that. I'd rather buy you a coffee IRL. I can't bear the ads. They're pretty bad. I don't share my trades on the Discord channel, no. One churn to rule them all. It's Google money. Yeah, give me those Google. That's right, it's Google money. Give me those Google dollars. Turn your ad blockers off. I want those Google bucks. Bullish break turned into bearish hold. Oh, dude, I haven't. Should I even bother checking RNVA? You're gonna kill me slowly with this one. Okay, fine. Renova, please be moving down. Do the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise hair swipe, trying to control all the future emotions I'm about to have looking at this chart. Yeah, I mean, it's laddering up. I don't, you know, ladder here, ladder here. If it keeps going, just hair swipe it out, baby. Tom Cruise it. Let's go back to Bitcoin. This doesn't exist. We've never seen such a thing. I know, but it breaks my heart. No problem, man. I'm glad my misery brings you pleasure. I'm here 2 hours a day, every day on YouTube for your torture benefits. You're welcome. I am not with TD. I would not go to TD, dude. I remember when I was a poker player and I wanted to buy a house, and I walked into a TD Bank branch and I told them I wanted a mortgage, and they're like, okay, we'll put you into a mortgage specialist, and nobody's in the office, so we'll put you with our main mortgage specialist. He's a manager. I was like, oh, cool. I get to see the big dog. And he didn't run a credit app on me, nothing. He just said, you're too young. You don't look like you can afford a house. Come back when you have a real job and you're established. He didn't even know what I did. I don't know what the fuck was his problem that day, but that's the only experience I've ever had with TD. And I actually paid my house cash. I just wanted to not put the whole thing down for tax reasons. When I was younger, I paid for my first house cash with poker winnings. It was a small mortgage and I had like a 80% down payment, but I didn't want to put the whole thing because of just like capital gain purposes. So then he was just like, oh, he didn't even run a credit app on me. Didn't ask what I do. He's just like, oh, you're too young. Come back when you can afford a house. I was like, okay. And I never saw it. I've never touched TD again. It was on Osborne Street in Winnipeg. It was crazy. I was just like blown away, and like, who pays a house 80%? Like, I was making good money in poker. Serious question. How do you deal with the should I, would I, had to, and those kind of questions in the trade world? Just move on to the next trade, man. There's literally always a next trade around the corner. If you guys learn anything from my channel, it's like how many trades we can find a day is like ridiculous. We're barely even looking. Yeah, there's like nothing. You can't look at it like that, man. You just move on to the next one. It's always going to be there. I lost 20K only because I sold AVE too early. Yeah, it's exactly, man. It's just like whatever, next trade. Bomb it with reviews. Did you play online poker or in person? Both, but online is where I made my income. I wasn't too much of a in-person player, like the kind of the casino hounds. I played a lot of home games. Home games are fun, but they're just fun. They get, people get hurt feelings in home games. So it gets a little too intense in home games, to be honest with you. You go to a home game and somebody spends a lot of time to make it nice, and they buy clay chips, and I've got like a nice clay chip set. I never hosted home games, but I just like the clay chips. I like playing with them, right? Just a collectible for me. I love my clay chips. They have all these nice things, clay chips, and then one hand goes bad and what turns into a great experience. You could just feel in the air, could just think and cut through steel how like emotional some home games get when it's like friends playing with money. It's just like, that's way too real for me, man. Especially you start playing games like PLO and stuff, and the statistical factor goes through the roof, and bad beats happen. But it's like the friendship killer. No, again, not that ever happened to me, but you could just feel it in the air. It's just not comfortable. And then in a casino, like you go to a casino and it's so slow, man. Like, how do you play casinos once you've played like online? Now, in-person tournaments are different, because in-person tournaments are pretty exhilarating, but just like to be a casino rat all day long, oh man, that's hard. Not for me. I'm sure there's lots of people who love it and they love that commodity in that game, but I'm really not into like trying to study what you're thinking. I'm sure I could do it well, but it just I don't really feel like, it doesn't really feel fun. Or was I attorney player, cash game grinder? Both. I played cash games for my main grind, and then I did a lot of tournaments as well. I think like I was a rake grinder like everybody. Never got into MTTs, never got into like SNG rake grinding. Couldn't do that kind of grind. I was more of like, let's make money in cash games. Played a lot of heads up, played a lot of six table. I don't play 10 table. I played like a lot of 6 max, heads up, and tournaments. I love mixing in tournaments. Different game, right? Like GTO, ICO poker versus blind poker, where you're just playing tight. Very different game. So I like the dynamic of being both attorney and a cash grinder. I was watching some YouTube live trade videos on other channels. These guys were getting into trades willy-nilly, not doing any TA whatsoever. Kind of blew me away. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Snow like in Manitoba last year for co-op work, beautiful there. Very flat too. The plains, man, the prairies, very flat in very flat in Manitoba. 1% of the market, a lot less than that, dude. It's still profitable online playing poker. Yeah, it's still profitable. It's more of a tournament game now, but it's more definitely profitable. I watch a lot of Lex Veldhouse on Twitch, so yeah, the poker streams on, or my poker stream. I don't know. Did I do a poker stream on Twitch? I think I might have. And trend again. I got to get off soon. I haven't eaten yet. I'm starting to like fade away here. I'm getting super hungry. I hate to leave when Bitcoin is like pushing its move, but man, I am getting super hungry. This is how trading is supposed to be, by the way. Very nonchalant, very like chill. You don't need to be stressing out about moves. It's very chill. If this breaks, there's no trade to be had. Your long was already, your long's already long gone. You're not longing over trend. Your long already exists down here. You're either deciding to short this for the bigger move, or this is breaking and you're already holding your long still. Can we see you eat cotton candy one time? I don't eat too much candy, but maybe. Sure. As Mr. Donovan would say, Ray Donovan. Sure. Mickey Donovan, that's a character, dude. Mickey Donovan, he's what a great show. Sure, sweetheart, sure. Then my son started saying sure all the time. It was freaking hilarious. We watched something else and somebody kept saying sure, and it was a kids movie and this person kept saying sure, but he was saying it like he was a Donovan, like from the show Ray Donovan. He was just sure. Hey, do you want juice? Sure. It's like, okay, who the hell is my child? What is this? It's the Irish in him coming out. Down, up, or need food? Need food. I'm already in my position. I've got my stop already set. You want pizza tonight? Sure, Dad. Sure. Okay. 2-year-old telling me sure, like he's some Irish gangster. Like, okay, dude. Bigger time frame, Dennis. More than a 1-minute candle. At this point, you're not really looking for the hard close. You're looking to see if the ladder breaks. Cotton candy eating stream. It has to be more than that, like ASMR cotton candy eating, right? Zoom my camera in, go real close to the Shure mic. Do ASMR cotton candy eating. Man, that'd be a trip. Bet you I'd get more subs than I do doing TA, doing ASMR cotton candy eating with my Shure mic and my setup, do some transitions. I'll set up like 5 different angles because I have like a few like old school webcams. I can put one up here, my stream deck, go really close to my mic, do ASMR eating, hit my stream button, fades in, fades out, cotton candy left side, cotton candy right side, ear cam, glasses down, face cam, POV eating. Dude, that would be, channel blow up. That's the future of this channel. If everything goes to shit and we can't get subs on the channel, like subscriber count goes slow, we just go ASMR. ASMR multicam, Google Glasses, easy. No, not a good idea. Gotta try new things in life, man. Which ladder? Just like the kind of this local ladder that's forming like this to this to this. Like as soon as you start like breaking these ladder points, and maybe there's like higher time frame one. Yeah. I mean, this is a very simple trade. You're already in profits from here. You break this trend and you're really just getting out of your trade. And there's like a no risk position here, right? Like if it goes down, you're making bank hand over fist. And if it keeps going down, you just stay in your position. Hell, you could stay in it for weeks if you want, turn it into an investment with just rolling stop losses. But yeah, for now, it's too early to talk about that stuff. You're just watching ladder points and trend to see if trend can break and if this can continue to ladder it. I guess more importantly is this guy right here. I suppose it could go up and then fall back down again as well. Open an OnlyFans for that. You are not going to believe the trade I made and start with it. Yeah. Yeah. It's so true, Heracles, but I don't want. So the way I view my YouTube channel, I'm kind of building like a legacy. I don't want to sully it with that kind of stuff. Like the GME video for me was honestly like hard to put out because it was a little clickbaity and it was a little like of an analytic push, but not really. I really did want to give my opinion on GME because there was more logical thought behind that. But really that GME video and that kind of like hot take drama style is I don't want that kind of crap on this channel. I realize I could do like Dogecoin, I could do this, I could do big predictions, Monday news, like you go. So I use like these different tools and stuff for like YouTube tags and some of the tags that are just like super hype analytics is like Bitcoin news today now 2021 or like Bitcoin price move Monday 2021, big move up Bitcoin, big move down Bitcoin, and the analytics are just so good on stuff like that. It's just like they score 100 out of 100. It's like big move Bitcoin, $100,000 24 hours, $1 million one trade. Like you could just like so analytic hounded, but then it's like, what does it do to my channel? Because if I can get there without that shit, it's like, imagine how pure my channel would be. And this would be like ground zero for everything TA in the future of trading. And then there wouldn't be all this junk and I didn't get there dirty, right? Like I don't pay for advertising, just work hard and hope people come and enjoy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah. Is it too late to get into Dota? Absolutely too late, man. Dota's a dinosaur. The GME video saved me some money. That was really helpful. Thanks. Nice, dude. Perfectly timed. Yeah, the GME video was coming from a pretty like honest place, and I tried to break it down as much as I could. I know it was going to be like really boring and get like a bunch of thumbs downs from people who like didn't see it the same way and stuff like that. So like as a creator, you always have to be mindful. Like, oh, is this video going to be popular or not? Should I even put it out? Is this going to get thumbs downs and hurt my analytics? Yes, GME was like a terrible video to release as a creator because it hurt my analytics. I got a bunch of thumbs down, which I knew was going to happen. But then I ended up being right in the end. So now I look back and I'm like, well, see, you guys should have listened. I told you, I put it out there. I publicized it. I made my opinion public on this topic. Told you guys exactly what was going to happen. I told you guys what was happening and what's going to happen next. And it all came to fruition, just like every trade ever does. Just like AMC, just like GME, just like all these trades. It's the same story, man. People just think it's new because they're new to day trading. They think what happened on GME is new. This same thing has been happening for like 30 years. I literally see the same exact story on repeat. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day watching shit like GME because I see this exact same thing for like the last 30 years. Like of watching charts. It's like, holy crap, man. Like, what do you want about? Just because you're new doesn't mean this is something new. So then all the new people, man, it's just like they think it's new. And then you get an influx of downvotes, which terrorizes and demonizes your analytics. But it's like, yeah, I was right. So suck it. And like, yeah. So you always have to be mindful of those things as a content creator, right? But yeah. Doge and GME. Where is GME? Let's go look. I'm going to eat, by the way. I have my stop set in place. There's nothing to do on this trade. What is GME at like a fraction of what it was? Yeah. Everybody wants the big, like, oh, Wall Street Bets did it all. Oh, Wall Street Bets has nothing to do with this. A fucking simple trend that broke, nothing to do with Wall Street Bets. They just used the Wall Street Bets to collude bigger gains. Nothing to do with any of it. And what about AMC? Was this thing like back down to $6 or some crap? $5.50. Laugh. Big laugh. So it's just like, yeah, you always have to be mindful of those things as a content creator. But then at the same token, it's like, that's why I don't do videos like that because it's just like, if I can do it without, man, imagine the purity I can create. I'm going to eat, guys. I can't. This thing could be here for like half an hour riding this trend. A lot of people think ignorance is bliss. Yeah, it's like whatever. Amazing how it works up to that trend line. Exactly. Pretty magical trend, dude. Pretty important trend. Stream is frozen for you, but you can still hear. I think that's a you problem. Thank you for your courses. FOT has changed my life. That's what I want, man. To keep pushing, man. Interesting case of mob psychology. The way I figured is the purer my channel it is, the slower it will grow. But then I'll hit a curve. Something's going to happen where somebody big notices what I'm doing in the content creation world. And they're like, hey, check out this guy's videos. He's pretty crazy good at what he does. Somebody big will one day share my work. And then at that point, it'll be gone, right? But I think this is like the path of most resistance, the way I do my Bitcoins, like my subs on YouTube, how I release my content, but it's also the purest, which makes it the most valuable for the people who do watch. So I choose value on people who watch. I mean, I make like $2 an hour on YouTube. It's nothing. It's not too late to buy ETFs. Absolutely not, dude. Yeah, it's like it's like if we get there this way, man, we've done literally the impossible. But you know, I'm gonna try to record it today, Skippy. I've got to continue installing these sound panels on the wall. You can see them over there. Just go to a big screen. We're done with charts anyways for now. You can see the sound panels. I started to install them this morning. I'm finishing the install on them today, and then it's going to be straight recording, back to recording. I've had like a week off of recording. It's the longest time it's been since I haven't recorded anything. We're going to be releasing Mental Analysis Evolved this week and recording Beginner's Course Remastered. So that's exciting, but these got to get installed first because, yeah, Yeah, they got to get installed first. Okay, I'm out of here. See you all later. Let's hope this short works out. And yeah, don't lose any money on it. See you all tomorrow. Take care.